Yeah, there you go. We're away.
We're away.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone.
Nice one. Hang on then, buddy. I cannot see the PowerPoint. I can't see the YouTube stream.
Right, hang on then. Have you got your laptop in front of you?
Yeah.
Do you want to just open the PowerPoint up instead and just tell me when to change slide, and we'll just do it that way.
Sounds good to me, buddy. Right.
I will be the official clicker of the button.
Nice one.
Just tell me the number slide that we're on and when we're on it.
Nice one, buddy. So you got the first one up, yeah?
Yeah, so we've got Understanding My Fitness is on the screen now.
Great. Nice one, cool. So what we're going to run through today is looking at, because fitness is quite a confused field and it can mean a lot of different things to different people. We're going to look at breaking it down, what it means to you as an individual, how we can take away certain things that might help you get active and fit in your own ways and ways that are important to you as well. So we're going to be looking at different components of fitness, breaking them down, looking at ones that we've heard before, ones that we haven't, running through them, and then looking how they apply to the individual pretty much, bud.
Cool.
Sound good? Right, so to start us off on the next slide, I've got just like a fitness and wellness word search to go with.
Yeah. Let me just make sure I can see that, because there will be a banner on that. Give me a second. I will make sure I can see that properly. So we're going to do a quick word search, guys, and that's going to be like the first task here. I want to change that. 2 seconds, everyone. There we are. We can see it now. That's better. So
Nice one.
I've dropped that over the top of the banner for now. I will change that round in a minute. But yeah, if you can just have it, so pen and paper would be ideal for the guys. Yeah.
Yeah, pen and paper. So there's going to be a couple of bits where you can stick in the chat, and obviously we'll sort of bounce a few ideas off each other and stuff like that. If you're watching later on, it's still worth grabbing a pen and paper, or even if you don't want to put stuff in the chat and keep it private to yourself, there's some stuff that we're going to run through where we're going to make a little profile as well. So it's handy to just get a little pen and paper and just jot some stuff down, especially if there's stuff that you've not come across before.
Yeah. And just have a go. See if you can find the words that are along the bottom.
So we're looking at different components of fitness. So yeah, when you say fitness, a lot of things can sort of spring to mind, you know, and those are the words that we've got at the bottom. We've got strength, of course, totally different sort of fitness to cardiovascular fitness, muscular endurance. They're all different. Yeah, and it's just sort of looking at ones that we're familiar with, maybe ones that we haven't come across before, and breaking them down. If there's any that you've never heard of before, by all means stick them in the chat and we'll run through them. Make a note of ones that you have heard, even ones that you haven't come across before as well. Make a note of them if you want. Is there any of them that you're unsure with, Hatham?
I was just reading them and I think it all makes sense, but are we going to have a little look at obviously the difference between them as well?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Because there is a few on there. And we were sort of having a little chat about it before as well, weren't we? Like the different types of fitness and what you can do even just at home and that.
Yeah, well, definitely. And like I say, like fitness means something different to everybody. You know, to some people, it's being able to complete a triathlon, and to other people at the other end of the spectrum, it's being able to go to the shops and do your own shopping. It's
a lot of people when they first start off will struggle to walk to the end of the street or whatever.
Well, of course, yeah, you know, and some people do want to go on and compete. Some people want to hit their own personal goals. Some people just want to be able to play with the grandkids or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Feel better as well, like not feel awful.
Well, you get people come into the gym and people come up to us and they'll say like, "Oh, I want to get fit," and you're like, "Okay, but what does that mean to you? Does that mean you want to be stronger? Do you want to be more flexible?
Yeah. Do you want to be faster? Do you want to have agility, coordination?
Yeah. All of those, yeah.
Everything, ideally, but it doesn't quite work that way.
Yeah.
You can't have it all. That's the one thing I've learned is you can't.
Well, that's it.
Everything can get better, but you're never gonna be all of the above. It's strong, fast, agile.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's tough to strike a balance. I think is the main thing.
Yeah, and it's finding that balance, isn't it? Depending on what you actually want to do, what you want to achieve, how fit you want to be, and in what ways. And that has quite a big impact on the sort of training that you want to do as well. You know, I've had people come into the gym and say it was before that they want to get more muscular and they want to tone up a little bit.
Yeah.
And they'll get on the treadmill and walk for 40 minutes. And you're like, yeah, you're going to burn calories and you're going to be more cardiovascularly fit, and your heart and your lungs are going to be more effective, but you're not really going to tone a great deal of muscle mass.
Your mass is you're not gonna... a different thing, isn't it, completely?
Yes, of course, yeah.
As I know quite well in my own experience of going through the cycles of trying to bulk up and all the rest of it, and then realizing
tell us about it.
That maybe isn't it. Maybe that's not the way to go. Because there's some people who you would probably look at and think, you know, they look in good shape, they're probably quite fit, and actually couldn't be further from the truth in terms of like cardiovascular fitness.
Exactly, mate. Yeah, in terms of fitness, you could look at a bodybuilder and say, oh, he's look at the condition he's in. Do you know what I mean? And he might be cardiovascularly fit. He's got good body composition, but you're not catching him running for a bus.
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, the thing bodybuilders are like famous for being like malnourished, right? When they do competitions.
Yes.
They're dehydrated and malnourished in the week leading up to it, so that they have no like excess water or fat. It's all completely trimmed off them. They're like collapse and stuff backstage sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really
yeah. They have to take a tablet. I found this out recently. It thins their blood.
Yeah.
So it can separate the water, and no word of a lie, before they go on stage, they have to sit with their feet elevated.
Yeah.
They have to stop all the water just running into their lower half. Yeah, it's crazy.
You get it with like fighters as well. Like speaking of like specific disciplines, like specifically like boxers and UFC fighters will trim down that week before the weigh-in and be like severely dehydrated. Sorry.
And malnourished. Like you said, they're eating for fuel. They'll break down their proteins, carbs, and fats and look at their macronutrients.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily taken, and that is just for fuel and you know, getting the body where they want it to be. That's not looking at like magnesium, potassium, fiber, all of that sort of stuff. You know, how often do you say like a bodybuilder's meal will be like a handful of protein, a handful of veg, and a handful of rice?
Yeah.
You know, the veg might be greens, and it might be the same veg every day, and you're not really getting that variety in there as well.
Yeah. So,
but to them, it's where they want to be.
And it's like that's the other thing as well. It's like how do you fuel yourself for your certain activity? So if you're doing like strength training, you know that you're going to have a lot of protein, and
exactly.
I found out as well a lot of carbs. That was the thing I was doing wrong initially when I was just doing like the strength training. Was I was eating
too many carbs.
I was eating loads of protein, but I wasn't having enough carbs. After my workout to replenish, so my muscles weren't building. Because they were like, well, you're not giving us any. There's nothing for us to use to repair them, but I can't get any bigger. Like there's no way to go. There's nothing to give.
I'm still burning more than I'm getting.
You're making us work like so hard, and you're not replenishing what you've took out. So no, I can't grow. It's negative equity.
Yeah, I've had some days at the gym in between sessions and stuff like that. If you get the choice of eating or training.
Yeah.
And it gets to the point where it's like, if I haven't eaten, there's no point training.
No, definitely not.
If I'm not getting enough food in that day, so sometimes you say, like, got enough training, just eat.
Definitely. Rest as well, man. Like, that's my biggest flaw is rest. Don't really sleep well and don't really have enough days off.
Yeah.
And that contributes very negatively towards my overall fitness. Recovery is just terrible, so I can go out and blast like a session out of football or strength or whatever it is, and then the period after that 12 hours where you should be like perfectly rested is just almost non-existent at times. Like
so it's not as easy as just putting your feet up for 12 hours like you get to do for celebrity bodybuilding.
Definitely. I think that's a massive thing that from my experience as well. Just for the guys, anyone thinking about it, like, oh, what the hell are they going on about? Like, you've got to remember when you can't compare yourself to like athletes or celebrities who get paid to do it, because they've got like a dietitian and a chef, and they've got the luxury of having a perfect sleep cycle and being able to eat when they can and train when they can, and it's all worked out for them and handed to them on a plate.
Nannies to watch the kids, chefs doing it all for them and working it out. And yeah,
So that was.
yeah,
I mean, me and Dan were
must be
talking about
nice.
it a little bit. Like, it's just like you can't compare yourself to that level of fitness because you nobody has the time to be in that good shape, really.
Yes, yes,
Um,
and I think that's some of the problem that we've got as well because we're exposed to all these athletes and stuff like that on the telly and social media, and that's what people think of when they think of fit now, you know.
yeah,
And like I say, to some people, fit might just be being able to take the dog for a couple of walks a day.
yeah. I think walking's are massively underrated. When I was talking to the guy who does sports massages and other physio treatments, and he was
Yeah.
saying like that the 9 times out of 10 people come in with back problems and like lower leg problems and stuff, and they could solve it, but like permanently, like long term, by just adding in an extra 2 hours walking a week. But they won't do it. They just want like the magic cure of coming and
Yes.
getting a
Yeah.
massage, and it's like
Yeah.
that's not how physio works. You just stimulate in an area to recover, but you have to exercise it so it doesn't become inactive.
Exactly.
And it's just like
Yeah.
they're stuck in
Yeah.
a loop of they get treatment, it feels great, so they get lazy again, and then it comes back around and starts hurting. And that's
Well,
the
of
other thing,
course.
isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. All the massage is doing and all the physio is doing is like loosening it up so you can do what you
Strengthen
need
it
to do
again,
with
get
and,
it
and,
back
and move
up
it.
to speed.
You know, yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's been about 5 minutes ish, 10 minutes on that.
Yeah, 5, 10 minutes. Are we getting on with these words?
Let us know how have you spotted them all, guys. Let's have a quick check of the chat actually. Sue's just saying she needs to start swimming again. Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah,
Yourself back in the
swimming,
pool.
swimming would. Yeah.
Any suggestions for somebody who has mobility issues, Rob?
Yeah, I've stuck one a little bit later on. You want to be looking at some lower impact stuff if you can. And when it comes to mobility, most importantly, don't try and force anything. Do you know what I mean? If something is feeling a little bit tight or a little bit stiff without knowing a great deal of what the mobility issues are, certainly I would say look at low impact stuff. So rather than sort of jumping, running, I even say to people a lot of the time, go out walking rather than running if you can. Take a lot of the impact out. You know, sort of like its impact on your knees, your joints, your hips. So yeah, I would be looking at for pool mobility. I'll be looking at lower impact exercises and stretching. You know, try and stretch that off and try and work on some of that mobility. You know, I've been doing a little bit of it myself, and even just in terms of day-to-day movement, you don't feel the difference.
Yeah, just I stretch. I was just about to say just a bit of stretching. Like I don't do yoga because I'm not very good at like holding the poses.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
my body
yeah,
doesn't quite like move that way. But I just do some like last night I got in from football. I just did some gentle stretches. My back is the main one because if I don't stretch my back, I get up the next day
yeah,
and I'm sort of stuck in this position.
yeah, yeah.
But like
You say that's not for
30
football.
yeah, my back tightens up. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be your hamstrings.
It
Your
is
hamstrings tightening up.
long-standing issue.
Yeah, yeah. You got footballers' hamstring, mate.
Mm.
You got the Kieran Dyer
Like
hamstrings.
rock solid. They're just not in a good way. Like they're just
Aye.
inflexible. So they're just it's not fun. But yeah, stretching. I couldn't recommend it enough.
Yeah, definitely.
30 seconds,
Definitely.
like worth of stretching on each muscle group. I feel a lot better.
Yeah, yeah. Even if you can fit it in your routine and on a morning, it takes like 5 minutes. Just pick a stretch on each body part. You know, upper body.
Of course.
Get a couple of lower body ones in, stretch them off.
Yeah.
Feel loads better.
So, do we have the answers to this?
Yes, we do.
So I have an answer sheet. Hang on. I don't know if you put the slide in with the answers on it.
No, I haven't.
I'll tell you what.
I've got them though. So if
yeah.
think...
hang on, I'll exit full screen on this and I will come back here and we'll highlight them. Or is it an image? What's up here? I've scrolled away from something and I cannot see where it's gone.
There we go. I think it.
So do you have the answers to that and we'll just go through them then?
Yeah, I've got them in front of us, yeah.
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 I can... Why is that? It's like jumping when I've opened the screen. Hang on. I'll do... Again, highlight. Yeah, okay, there we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, bud. So rather than going word by word, I'll just start on the left-hand column and go from there then, maybe.
Yeah.
So first column on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Couple down, a few down from the top, we've got a B that starts off body composition.
On the left-hand side.
Yeah, on the left-hand column. Under the M.
Oh yes, body composition. I see.
Column,
yeah.
Body composition all the way down. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got our body composition here. Yeah.
Cool. Next column. Second letter up with the E.
Yeah.
All the way across to the right is your cardiovascular endurance.
Ah, right, okay, but backwards, yes, I see.
Backwards, yeah.
Backwards. You pulled a sneaky there. That's a sneaky one. Cardiovascular endurance, starting with that C there. I see you.
You keep on your toes.
Yeah, got it.
So, the row underneath that, right the way on the right hand side, we've got agility backwards.
Ah, yes.
Got the Q, then agility.
Oh, you're making them work for it today, mind.
Well, that's it, mate. That's it. It's the first one I've done in a while when I'm grafting.
Yeah, got that.
Okay, so where that long cardiovascular endurance backwards.
Yeah.
Right, the E in endurance.
Yeah.
Follow that upwards, and that's heart rate. So where endurance starts, not end.
Got it.
Yeah, that one.
Heart rate there.
Sweet, cool. So, fifth row from the left.
From the left.
Yeah, about 2/3 of the way down.
5. Yeah.
Got coordination running down over.
Yeah, see that. Oh, hang on, I've gone too far though. Oops. Helps when you know how to spell these words, you see. And you know where they end. Yeah, we've got coordination. Yeah.
Right next to that one and starting one letter lower. Reaction time.
Yeah.
You got that one?
Got that one, mate, yeah.
Yeah, sweet. Next row across. Follow it down to the P where reaction time ends.
Yeah.
And that upwards is physical activity.
Physical activity, man.
That's the one, yeah.
The backwards ones are they're rough, them, like they're tosh.
Oh, they are. They are. When you get a backwards diagonal, mate.
Oh no.
That's the curveball.
Definitely not. Not having any of that, like.
And then next row, next column along from that one, sorry, from the E at the top all the way down to the M, we've got muscular endurance.
Yeah, I see it. Muscular endurance is up the middle there. Yeah.
Yeah. Where we've got heart rate coming down over.
Where am I at with my heart rate? Oh yes.
Yeah. The W next to the H, diagonal, is wellness.
Oh, diagonal. Now we're starting to show off here.
That's it.
Oh, sugar. Yeah, got it.
Got wellness, yeah. Cool. Okay, so around about the middle column at the top, we've got an F. Follow that down for flexibility.
Yeah. Got that.
Yeah. Second row down, come a column across to where that E is, and follow that down to the B. That's balance.
Second row down.
Yeah. No, sorry. Second row down.
Yeah.
Where the L is from flexibility.
Yeah.
Follow that over to the right where the E is, and then that's balance, diagonal, and down over.
I think I've gone blind, man. To the B.
Yeah, so we've got the E next to the L. Yeah.
For flexibility.
Follow that.
So it's FLE, yeah?
Yeah. So where that L is, come across to the right where the E is,
Yeah.
and follow that right and down over, and that is balanced backwards.
I'll take your word for it. Honestly, I can't.
Can you not?
No, I don't know what's happening. It's LER on mine.
Yeah. Acrossways.
Uh-huh.
If you come to that E, and then come diagonal rather than straight right.
Oh yes. I'm not listening. Do you know what it is, Rob? I'm not listening to you. I wasn't looking diagonally. That's what it is. Turns out you need to listen when someone says words to you.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's where I've been going wrong. Maybe that's where I've been going wrong all this time. All right, we're getting there. There's only a couple left to go. So, we're going to come a couple of columns across to the right. The E at the top.
Yeah.
And we're going to follow all the way down, and that's resting heart rate.
Oh, so it is. So that's coming, let's say, starting from there and coming up to here, guys, if you can't see that one. So that's there. That's resting heart rate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
cool.
4 more, I think.
4 more. So,
I'll try and see if I can quickly spot them, but I don't know if I can.
Yeah. We're working from the right hand side, mate. Come second row in.
Yeah.
Where's that one? Exercise heart rate. So 5 up.
Yes, yeah.
5 up from the bottom. Exercise heart rate.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
So that starts there and that comes up there. It's your exercise heart rate.
Yeah. Which will be obviously different from your resting heart rate.
Yeah.
Next column in. It ends at the same place.
2 more. I'm getting all the updates and reconnections and disconnections apparently.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're fine.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Last 2, mate. So where that physical fitness is.
Yeah.
The first I, if you're reading it the right way.
Yeah.
Come across to the left and there's an S.
Yeah.
Follow that diagonal, left and down, and that is strength. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And from that H where that ends, if you follow that up 4 or 5, you'll see the S where speed starts, and that goes upwards as well.
Where am I going from? Sorry, I wasn't listening again.
So where that strength ends,
yeah,
the H, follow the same column up.
Yeah, speed.
5 or so, yeah, and then speed running upwards.
And that's like speed, as in the velocity that you're moving, not like the film with Sandra Bullock in it.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, yeah.
Hell of a film, though. Hell of a film.
Decent. Keanu Reeves, very good. Okay, so just agility now then. A little bit of agility. Got to give it the side to side.
Yeah. We got that one. That's at the bottom.
Oh, we already got agility. Oh, yeah, man, it was backwards, wasn't it? Yeah, of course. We already got agility.
Got agility, yeah.
We've done it. We've completed
nice
the word
smashed
search.
up.
If you are watching this back, feel free to pause that on that screen because that's all the highlighted answers. No,
it's a good shout, actually. Yeah, good shout.
There's the cheat screen. We'll just
so, of course, if there's any of them words that you're not familiar with, if you are sat watching at home, if there's any of them that you've never heard before, we're going to cover some of them anyway, but by all means, stick them in the chat. If there's any words that aren't familiar to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Karen, that's definitely a good idea. Yeah.
Hang on, I've hidden the cameras behind it. There we are. We're back. We disappeared for a moment there. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think we were supposed to have the answers on for next. We'll get it sorted. Don't worry about it.
We'll get there. Yeah. Cool, guys. So, same again. Coming back to the initial question, I want you to just sort of have a sit and think yourself. Maybe jot some stuff down. What is fitness, and what does it mean to you, or to get fit or to be fit? Yeah. Same again. By all means, stick it in the chat if you want. If not, just jot it down. Give us a little click there, Nathan, if you can.
We all have strengths and weaknesses, some based on, and then what's telling you, yeah.
There we go, yeah. So yeah, we're all different. We're all built differently. I might be better at some stuff that you aren't so good at. You'd be better at stuff that I'm not so good at. You know, there's different body types that we're going to look at as well, that'll sort of indicate what exercises, sort of activities you might be better at. But yeah, like I said, it's different for everybody. You know, if I was to ask somebody my age what it means to be fit, they might say, right, I want to put a little bit of muscle mass on, work on my body composition. I want to get I want to get a better resting heart rate and physical heart rate. I want my heart to be fitter. And then, like I say, you might have someone who's at the other end of the spectrum who they might want to be fit so they can go on 5-10 mile walks on a weekend, you know, and they need to train completely differently.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just getting thrown off by the chat there. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, by all means, jot them down, stick something in the chat. Yeah, bang on, guys. Fitness means being able to walk with it.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, that's bang on. And like I say, two answers straight away that are so different. And when you get people looking online and you just Google how to get fit, and you see people that'll just do whatever that says. You know, like I say, you've had people in the gym that I say are trying to tone up, when you catch them on the treadmill or like the bike after 45 minutes, and they've never lifted a weight, and they've got no intention of starting to lift a weight, you know. But there's obviously different types of training and different ways of eating and nutrition approaches depending on where you want to be and what fitness means to you. Charlotte says fitting into old clothes again that you really like. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Save the wardrobe.
Right. Gary's just saying about being able to walk better and get a better composition as well that he's happy with.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, you know, confidence plays a lot into it, and we're going to sort of come around to it later on as well, about tackling stuff that you feel you maybe is a little bit better at or more inclined to, sort of reinforces you to keep doing it as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I turned up to, if I decided, right, I'm going to get fit, I'm going to start high jumping, and I turn up and everyone there's 6.5 foot, and do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm like barely clearing a lower bar. Yeah. I'm probably not going to go the week after.
No.
Or you're going to get fed up a lot easier. You know, if I take up something that's a little bit more suited to me, sprinting or something like that, it reinforces you a little bit more. You feel better. It builds your confidence, and you're more likely to stick at it, which is, of course, as important as anything. Consistency.
Yeah, definitely. Just
yeah.
Train as much as you can with the right amount of rest, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, and knowing where your end goal is,
yeah,
gives you an idea how to start working towards it. You know.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's a really good point as well. Yeah, just being able to do day-to-day tasks throughout the day. You know what I mean? Like I'll see people in the gym that'll high weights about all day long, and then they'll throw their back out getting out the car. You know, you swing your leg round and swing your hips out because you're only used to going through that range that you're squatting or lunging. That's all your body remembers how to do. It forgets how to move past that range, outside of that range. Supporting muscles don't work as much and engage as much. So you can end up injuring yourself, yeah, easily, just doing day-to-day stuff. Right, guys, let's go next slide then, huh?
Yeah, so we've got different ways we can be fit.
Yeah, so looking at just a couple of those earlier components of fitness that we were on our word search, just looking at sort of what they mean, starting to break them down a little bit. So we've got our cardiovascular fitness, which is, like we were saying, the ability for the heart, lungs, blood cells to get oxygen around the body to where it needs to be, to the working muscles. You'll know yourself, even sometimes you just run up the stairs and your heart rate comes up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? You're like, you really, you can really feel it. And like I say, that cardiovascular fitness might be the difference for a boxer between winning and losing.
Yeah.
You know, if it doesn't matter how hard you can punch, how long your reach is, sometimes if your opponent can go longer than you can, you've got no chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strength, same again, completely different. People who might have good strength might have poor cardiovascular fitness, like we were saying before. A lot of bodybuilders, strong as you like, high in weights around like nobody's business, but you'll find that they've got no flexibility, no arrangement in their joints, no cardiovascular fitness most of the time as well.
Yeah. I mean, Ronnie Coleman, if anyone knows who that is, very, very famous bodybuilder, has had his whole spine fused together because the discs kept on popping out from him doing like ridiculously heavy weights, put so much pressure on his spine that the discs would just slip out of place, and now because so many of them are moved, they've had to be fused together. So his back is just like one solid block.
Oh man!
And that is just a result of like, you know, poor form, but also like extreme weight lifting, which is,
that's what it is. Yeah,
overdo it as well. That's the other thing.
Right, he's been Mr. Olympia, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Like times or something like that. Stupid. Yeah.
He's paid his body, hasn't he? He's paid his body for that's been the price of what he's done.
Definitely.
And you see people wanting to train to that intensity down the local rec.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You're like
racking up plate after like 25 plates.
Take some of them plates off. Yeah, it's not the Olympia. You're going to hurt yourself. Yeah.
Aye. We'll like no warm up as well. Just like straight in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, straight off, mate. Straight off while they're fresh. Yeah. Do it while I'm fresh, yeah. Crazy, man. Crazy. Body composition. Looking at that next one down, like we're saying, that's the balance of the percentage of water, fat, and muscle in your bodies. Same again, there's certain people that are going to benefit from nailing their body composition in, and flexibility, which is the range of motion in a joint or a group of joints. So just to get you thinking a little bit, can we look at those 4 components of fitness and maybe come up with an example of an athlete or a sport or something that maybe needs that? What do we reckon? So for cardiovascular fitness, who do we reckon is going to get the most sort of, who's going to get the most out of it? Yeah, definitely.
So who wants to have the ability for the heart, lungs, and blood cells to supply oxygen-rich blood to their working muscles the most? Do you think?
What do we reckon, guys?
If you'd been listening earlier on, there has been a few mentioned. We have sort of hinted at them. Gary's saying more for running. I assume he means Mo Farah.
I imagine so, yeah. Unless it's him from The Simpsons. I don't think he's that.
I'm not sure he needs that. A bartender, not so much cardiovascular fitness.
I don't think he does that much CV. No, definitely not. Yeah. A lot of endurance athletes have got obviously good cardiovascular fitness. Footballers, you're doing a lot of stop and start. I mean, Nathan, you'll feel yourself just going back to five-a-side and just getting back to football.
Yeah.
You feel like you can do all the long distance running in the world, but when you're on a football pitch and it's stop, start, it's directed, it's completely different. Yeah. It really is.
There's no way to train for like match fitness at all.
No, there's not. Definitely not. So Mo Farah, endurance athletes, runners. So what about strength?
I think Sue has put in like an answer for them all there with that one. That one should just put in. So like the slash will be like that's for the next category, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, athletic runner.
So
bang on, nice one.
Would be cardiovascular, strength would
We're on fire today, yeah.
Weightlifter. Body composition, bodybuilder I would say so, and then a swimmer for flexibility. Flexibility is a weird one, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. Like you don't realize how much you need it till you don't have it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not overly flexible, but like day to day, I'm not really aware of that.
Yeah.
But if I turned up to do a gymnastics class, I mean, even like I'm saying stuff like the high jump, you're seeing some of the shape they've got to get their body into to get up and over the bar.
Yeah.
Basketball, you've got to be really sort of flexible and have a lot of motion and be really athletic as well. You know, there's a lot of stuff that flexibility comes into that you wouldn't necessarily think of. Yeah.
It's the joint. It really is the joint. It's like ankles and knees. I've just got no flexibility in them whatsoever. Like if I turn the wrong way, you just hear a massive click, and it's the tendon or something's hitting against something else that shouldn't be hitting against. It's
knock on effect up the body as well. Yeah.
And you just like, oh no. That's going to hurt later.
Oh, aye. Yeah, we've actually done, me and my missus have actually done a little bit of yoga while we've been in lockdown.
Nice.
And it hurts. It hurts. Yeah. Humbling, mate. It was a lesson in humility. Not as flexible as I even thought I was.
No. All the mobility stretches and stuff, they're really good, they work, but they're not fun. Like, it's...
No. You've got my missus just breezing it. Yeah.
Just like folded up like a pretzel and you're just like... I can't move my arm like this way. Like,
I'll be wrong, yeah. I'm trying to touch my toes.
aye, it's rough. But yeah, there's some good examples.
Yeah. Right, buddy, spin on if you want.
Yeah. Where are we at? PowerPoint. So next one is, how is fitness different for everyone? Yeah.
Yeah. So we can blast straight on to the next one as well, bud.
Yeah. So we've got our boy Usain.
Our boy Usain, yeah. So just looking at him, he's obviously someone that we'd call fit. You know, he's someone that I'm sure we all know, a name that we all know. But yeah, someone that we'd probably all consider to be fit.
Yeah.
So in what ways, to look at him and look at what we know, what he does, and sort of what we do know about him, in what ways do we think he's fit? Thinking about some of them components we were just looking at on the word search, and a couple that we might have written down. What of those applies to Usain Bolt and lets him be as good at what he does?
Because there'll be a few.
There will be a few, yeah. You don't get to be top of the game and an Olympic gold medalist if you don't. But I mean, the first one I thought of is captured in the picture, and that's his speed.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the blur on everything. He's definitely moving fast.
Man's a blur, yeah. But we'll see if we can get a couple of ideas, maybe chucked in the chat.
Yeah, so Rob's giving you one there. That's speed. He's definitely got some speed.
First one, I'll give you the easy one for a sprinter.
First one's
yeah.
free. So what else, guys? What else do you think Usain Bolt has got in terms of components of fitness?
Yeah, and thinking about sprinting as a sport and activity as well. What sort of those components do we think really sort of lend themselves to being a sprinter?
So the other ones are like strength, flexibility, balance, reaction time, cardiovascular endurance, muscular endurance, body composition, physical fitness. Sue said age.
yeah.
He definitely had that on his side, like definitely. But yeah, and
definitely.
Personally, he needs cardio for speed and flexibility for technique.
Yeah, so cardio definitely. He's gonna need. He's working quick. He's going to be needing a lot of blood and a lot of oxygen going around his body. What you find that just what's Gary put there? Speed, strength, CV, endurance, balance, reaction time. Yeah, bang on. One that a lot of people don't think about is actually reaction time.
Definitely.
You know, everyone.
Right?
Yeah, on someone's physical fitness, you can be as fast as you want, but if everybody gets off the block a second or two before you, it's not going to make a blind bit of difference.
Yeah.
In the same sort of way, you can look at power and muscular strength for that initial push, and then the power that you're actually outlaying with every single step. I mean, you see them punching through the air. You see that they'll actually build on their shoulders.
Yeah.
And a sprinter will actually have a lot more muscle mass than an endurance runner, like a Mo Farah, because they actually need the power and the strength a lot more as well.
Upper body as well, right? You use quite a bit of your upper body in your
well, exactly, yeah. And I mean, you could see the difference just in Usain and Mo Farah side by side. Yeah. The difference even in their arms alone is massive. But if you give us a click here, then we should actually get a list up with a couple of them on.
Yeah.
But yeah, good shout on those ones, guys.
So we've got muscular strength, cardiovascular, obviously fitness, body composition, speed, reaction time, coordination, power.
Yeah, coordination. Obviously, you're thinking how they'll have it. It's muscle memory down to the point where they'll know which arm they're punching with and which foot they're stepping with. Like even just having to think about where your feet are and stuff like that. Yeah. It's all coordination. Really interesting one on this one, and some of the others. Body composition.
Yeah.
He's got a specific body composition rather than what anyone would class as an ideal body composition. It's tailored to what he wants to do. You know, like I say, if he doesn't have a great deal of fat, which he wants, he doesn't have a great deal of water weight, which he needs. He's got that muscle mass, which he also needs as well. You know, and what you'll notice in body composition for all athletes is tailored towards what they're trying to do, but it's different for everybody. You know, and it's the same for us, Joe Public. Do you know what I mean? Like, what I might be good at, you'll be better at, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I find that's one thing that people forget in it. Like, you're your body will react to whatever you do. So
Yes.
like
Yeah.
to me, the word conditioning never really meant anything. So like, you know, you'd always see like they go behind the scenes at like a boxing camp or whatever, and they talk about strength and conditioning. And to me, the word conditioning didn't really mean anything. Like, it was like, I don't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
conditioning, it's getting you in a condition where you're constantly doing that activity so that your body is used to it. So you basically
Yeah.
you're tricking your
Getting
body
used to it, yeah.
into you do this activity over and over and over again at different levels of intensity, and your body thinks, right, okay, we're going to be doing that, so I need to be ready to do that, and then it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you
And then I
repeat
need
it
to be
enough
ready to
times,
recover from that. Yeah.
yeah, and how fast you can turn it around and do it again as well, like.
Yeah.
You know, he probably can't do like 3 back-to-back races and run the same time in them all because he doesn't. His
Exactly.
body's
Yeah.
not used to
Yeah.
it.
You need your recovery time,
Yeah.
and like you say, everybody is built differently, and him, for what he does, is pretty much bang on, like nail on the head where he
Peak,
needs to be.
absolute
Yeah,
peak
pretty
condition.
much. Yeah, certainly when he was setting some of them world records. Yeah, 100%.
And it's like
Right, guys.
it's mad, isn't it though? Because you can be so close to being in condition, but someone can just have turned up and trained better for the past 3 months, and
Exactly.
it's just that's
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
They've got the edge.
Yeah. Any single one of those, if your competitor is better than, your competitor's got a chance.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if you can be the best that you can be on as many of those sort of components as possible, you give yourself the best chance.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, when you're at that level, as obviously it's different for you know, just any Joe Blogs on the street. These guys are all in peak condition, so it's like things like your genetics. Like he looks like he's about a foot taller than the rest. He's not. It must only be like a couple of inches. But on that photo, like you can see his physiology in terms of the way he's built, like genetically, is so far superior to everyone else running in that field. And sometimes it comes down to that as well.
Yeah, I would even say that a couple of the guys behind him, I know they're a little bit blurry, but their shoulders look like they're maybe a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah, definitely.
He's actually leaner for his height and for his height and his weight.
Yeah. It just like at that level, you sometimes you'll find like the genetic freaks, as I often call them. That's not a bad thing, but in terms of you could be the same height and width as them, and they'd still have something extra because of the way they're built, the way they are.
Yes.
More fast twitch muscle fibers or whatever it is. Like they can just run quicker, or they can just be stronger.
Yeah.
And it's just how they're built. There's nothing you can do.
Some of it is just genetic. Yeah. Some of it is genetic. But if even if you can look and just looking at different athletes in different sports and saying, okay, so that requires someone to be good at this, and this, you can start to break down whether you think that might be suitable for yourself or something that you're interested in, which is sort of the aim of what we're going for. You know, sort of looking at where you fall with certain things and how we can move forward and get a little bit more active.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Who we got next?
So should be good to move on to the next one then, mate.
Yeah. So we got Bradley Wiggins.
Yeah. So different sport, totally different sport. You can see for those of you that haven't heard of Bradley Wiggins, he's a professional road and track racing cyclist. Tour de France winner 2012. Same again, he's been the top of his field at a time. He's fit in different ways to Usain Bolt. So same again, let's just take a couple of minutes and try and break down and think about how he's fit and why that lets him do what he does, you know, in ways that he might be different to Usain Bolt.
Yeah. So what components of fitness does Bradley Wiggins need to be his cyclist self?
Yeah. So, I mean, you can see straight away although his legs are probably as muscular, if not more so, his arms aren't, because he doesn't need them.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, if you see someone I'd always encourage someone to train full body in the gym, and I'm sure he does to an extent, but when your legs are what's powering you, that's what you're going to focus on.
Definitely.
Any other muscle, any unrequired muscle mass is just extra weight that you've got to carry with you.
You've got to lug it through France on a bike up mountains and that's not what you want, is it? You don't want to be carrying anything heavier than it has to be.
He's no good being built like Eddie Hall.
No, definitely not.
You know what I mean?
Definitely not. So we've got balance, leg strength, lower body, core endurance.
Yeah, well, muscular endurance in
Yeah,
itself, yeah, yeah. Just where Usain Bolt will run a sprint over 100, 200, 200 meters, he's not, he's relying on strength a lot more.
yeah,
Someone like Bradley Wiggins, who's doing something endurance, who's got to last a little bit longer, you need that endurance more than you need the strength. The strength's still got to be there in its own way, to its own level, but you need that endurance just as much, if not more so.
yeah. I mean, like Usain Bolt's not going to be able to get on that bike and do the Tour de France with the amount of muscle mass on his legs and
Exactly.
the power that he's got in it. He might be able to like cycle pretty quick for like maybe a lap of the Olympic track, and then
Yeah,
I think he
yeah.
might be out of beans then. Like,
And then, yeah, you'd burn out. But I
yeah,
mean, even in when he was running, I remember there was might have been the London Olympics actually. I think he did the 100 meters,
yeah.
and I think he did the 400 meters as well.
Did he do the 400 or did he do the relay? I can't remember.
I'm not sure. It felt like that year he did bloody
He did
everything,
the
didn't
100
he?
and the 200. He won the 100 and the 200. He won the gold, and then he won the gold in the won the gold in the 100, the 4x100 relay as well. But I don't know if he did
Yeah,
the 400 meters. He could,
but
to be honest,
you,
he could probably do it. I wouldn't be surprised if he could, because he's a bit of a,
yeah,
like I say,
yeah.
he's like a genetic freak in a way.
That was it. There was one that was a longer distance than the 100 meters, and although he smashed it, I'm sure he won it. You could tell his body wasn't used to that extra 100 meters or whatever
Yeah,
it was, as much as it was used to just doing the 100.
yeah.
Once you've done that initial 100 that your body's done time and time again, that's where your endurance and your recovery kicks in. That's your body clearing out lactic acid and stuff like that.
Apparently,
Yeah, yeah,
Bull has done the 400 meters before, but he wasn't very good at it.
really, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's done the 200 though. He's got the world record for the 200.
Has he really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that shows you in itself. 200 to 400, he's gone from world record to
To
not being very good at something over 200 meters.
yeah,
That 200 meters difference, and that's because his endurance isn't there.
yeah.
That's because it's not what he trains for.
No, definitely not. And Sue's just saying Bradley Wiggins needs a sense of direction as well.
He does, yeah,
Definitely, yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Especially when you're the
That
leader.
makes a
If you're
difference.
at the back, you can do, you can just follow everyone else. If you're at the front, you need to know where you're going.
Yeah, yeah. End up in a farmer's field or something.
Aye, definitely some like a vineyard. Right, so for Bradley Wiggins, we've got like you guys
Yeah,
are saying, so we've got muscular endurance, cardiovascular, balance, power, body composition. So that was what
yeah,
we were talking about, Rob, isn't it? Where you don't want to be, the body composition is you don't want to be carrying any extra weight where you don't need it.
yeah, yeah. What we've put in for both of these two that we've looked at already, we've mentioned the body composition, but that's different to both of them.
Yeah,
And like I say, an ideal body composition is different to everybody, and that's something to think about as well.
yeah,
Depending on what you want to be able to do, how you want to be able to function, how you want to feel. You don't need to be looking at someone on the front of a magazine
no,
and saying I need to look like that,
definitely
or
not.
picking up celebrity workouts and diet plans and stuff like that to look like that,
Yeah,
because they eat and they train that way for a reason, and if they didn't need to, they wouldn't.
and a lot of the time, it's like I was saying before, it's not really natural anyway. A lot of the time they are malnourished or dehydrated,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
they've had some kind of surgery, or it's and even then the pictures are airbrushed. What is the other thing you've got to remember? Like
of
that
course,
that visual representation of them is probably not how they look in real life. They'll still be in good
exactly.
nick. Do you know what I mean? They won't
Yeah,
look.
yeah,
They'll still be toned and possibly have abs and stuff, but it won't be anywhere near the level you'll see in a magazine. Like it's completely false at times.
yeah, yeah. It really is. It really is. And then like I say, you got people going out there thinking that they need to look
Yeah,
calendar like year round. How these people have looked for one day that
yeah,
they turned up to get photographs
yeah.
taken on the day that they knew they were getting
So
photographs
they didn't
taken. It's
eat
no
anything or
surprise
drink
that
anything for
they-
12 hours and just completely
Exactly,
emptied the
yeah,
body out.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like some of them will actually drink alcohol on the morning because it dehydrates you more.
yeah.
It sort of like gives you that sort of shrink wrap look. It's crazy.
It's mental.
And
But
you got people worldwide looking and saying, "Oh, they're the healthiest. They're like the pinnacle of health. I need to be like that."
yeah,
And you don't.
no, definitely not. Uh, yeah, just the guys. I'm sure Bradley's favorite song is least favorite song is "Follow the Leader." Yeah, probably.
Well, it will be.
Okay, who we got next then?
Yeah.
Michelle Kwan, figure
Aye.
skater, I guess.
Figure skater, yeah.
This one's out of my wheelhouse now, so you're on your own.
Well, it was a little bit for me, to be honest. I was trying to find an example of some sort of different. I mean, if you start looking at a load of runners and a load of cyclists and that sort of thing,
Your traditional athletes.
Yeah, it's just something a little bit more outside the box.
So what do we think, guys? What do we think? Because I'm honestly not too sure. Hang on, so we've got 5-time figure skating world champion, 2-time Olympic medalist. In what ways is she fit and able to do what she does?
Yeah, so exactly the same as we've done with the other two, pretty much. Just look at how she's different from them, but what helps her excel in what she does.
So, Gary, balance, power, flexibility, coordination, reaction time, muscular endurance.
Yeah.
All seems fair to me, yeah.
Go to them. Agility, changing directions, that you think you need to do a lot more, need to be a lot more agile than you do sprinting. You know what I mean? Sprinting, you're just going to go and you're not really going to change direction at all. Even cycling to a degree.
Not much agility is there.
You're turning handlebars, aren't you? Yeah, your reaction time, if anything, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't skate either. I can.
No, me either.
My problem is the direction change. Like I can skate and do like the very slow, like everyone always goes in like just a big circle around the outside of the ring.
Yeah.
I can do that perfectly fine. Like I'm totally fine. And then if someone wants to stop, I cannot stop. When people do the thing where they like slide to the right, sort of stop. I can't do that. I fall over every time, and I cannot people do like a figure of 8. Can't do that either. Just got no ability to turn whatsoever. And I don't know what it is. I think it is a lack of flexibility, to be honest. I think me legs.
So like in the joint as well.
Yeah, my knees and my ankles don't quite move the way they're supposed to move.
Yeah. Be some balance and coordination in there as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Sort of figuring out where your feet are, knowing where your feet are.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
It's one thing knowing where they're supposed to be, but there's another thing getting your brain to be like, send a signal to go and do it in the right moment.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, my brain knows what it wants to do, but my body's just like, don't know, no idea.
Not today. Yeah. Not today. Your body like Windows Explorer, Internet Explorer.
Just like this task manager like open. It's got like 100 tabs open and what's going on. But yeah, so that's.
But yeah, you'll notice again, body composition. She's different from the other two guys, but her body composition is a big part of what lets her do what she does and do it as well as she does.
Even just that pose that she's in there, like being able to skate on one leg with the other one, not just like lifting your leg up a little bit. It's literally in the air.
I don't move like that.
No,
that's not normal. I don't move like that. But you think even in like a one-legged stance or one-legged hold like that, she'll be engaging muscles and regularly training those muscles that Wiggins might not use on his bike.
Yeah.
Because it might be very quad and very sort of glute heavy.
Almost certainly not doing those kind of muscles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So not only does she need to have all of those, but she needs to be aware of what muscles she's going to be working at competition time, and she needs to be training those and getting those working as well.
Yeah.
And those are muscles that would be neglected if she was following maybe other training regimes and stuff like that.
Like myself at the moment, sat at a desk for most of the day with a very sedentary lifestyle, which is a lot. I mean, I'm not the only one. A lot of people that I know, and obviously a lot of you guys probably as well. Spend a lot of time sat down, not active, which is the called sedentary, isn't it? When you have like a, but day to day, you're not burning a lot of calories by your daily activities. And so there's no way I'm ever going to be able to move like that unless I put a decent portion of training in, which I don't think I'm.
Exactly. Like she's out there doing stuff like that every other day, if not every day.
Yeah.
Like you say, we're getting up from a desk at the end of like 8-9 hours, and it's like, well, even just a bit of a stretch will feel good.
Because you're like this and you're like crumpled over. You start the day and you're like up here, and then by the time the day is finished, you're like down here and you're sort of all hunched over, and one leg's like behind the other, and you've got like one shoe on, and it's all gone.
Go to the gym just to reset the damage.
Basically,
Which is a lot of. It's what a lot of us are doing, to be honest, because you think I'm not training to be an athlete. I can't imagine you're training to be an athlete, or
Not
most
particularly.
people that are going to see this video are. You know, a lot of us are just trying to negate some of the day-to-day factors that we have to live with and sort of cancel them out, or live with them and sort of embrace them as well.
Yeah, and
You know,
if you do
and
want to
working
get up
around.
to a point as well, like we've had workout plans given to us by friends and stuff at the office, and it's all about your starting point as well, which you got to remember. Like, these athletes are all great, and you know them, like,
Yeah.
but these are world class athletes who've been training probably since they were like
Exactly, yeah.
8 or 9 year old. So you've got to remember where your start point is. So it might be going for a walk, it might be getting on the bike, might be going for a swim, and then if that starts becoming too easy and you're not getting a workout from it again, that's when you start stepping it up in it. Like, you don't.
That's when you build from
Nobody
there.
comes in and's like, right, I'm going to cycle a Tour de France like length now on this static bike. Like, you'll not do it. You won't do it. Your body will not react. It'll not respond.
And you'll sicken yourself off, and you'll only try it the one.
Definitely.
As opposed to starting small and building it up, because like we say, consistency is the key. Doing something over and over again and getting your body used to it. Progressive overload is the only way to force your body to change. And you can go and do 100 squats today. If you don't do any for another month, you're not going to see.
No.
You're not going to see results, are you? You know, it's that consistency. You're better off doing 20 today.
Yeah.
Then 20 tomorrow, and building it up like that rather than burn yourself out.
Definitely.
But yeah, what we're going to move on and do, we're actually going to look at how sort of these can apply to different body types, and like you say, take that step back and figure out your own starting point.
Yeah.
Because like you say, that's the end game for people. They can say, this is where I want to be, and build towards it.
Yeah.
We're going to try and work backwards and say, right, I feel like I have these strengths and I feel like these components are important to me. How do I move towards them, sort of thing?
You've got to have a target, really, haven't you?
Well, yeah, definitely.
And then when you hit that target, don't just stop. You pick it up.
Yeah.
Okay, you know,
set yourself a new target. Yeah.
I managed to walk 5 miles. Okay, next target 10 miles. Okay, I managed to run for 5 minutes without stopping. Okay, 10 minutes. Like, just build it up slowly.
Build it up, yeah. Yeah, that's it. And it doesn't even always have to be the same thing. Like, it can be. You can say it to yourself, right? I'm going to get to the point where I'm doing a 15-minute walk every day. Once you've got that nailed down and you feel like you're getting the most out of the walking that you want or need to, you can say it to yourself, right? I'm going to start doing 15 minutes bodyweight exercises in the house, and sort of build on top of that as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's about finding that mix, and the mix and the balance that you need very much can come down to where you see yourself in the end, or where you want to end up. So having that sort of idea in your mind and figuring out how to get there is one of the best ways to start.
100%, man. So the next slide was, can you think of any more examples? But I think, have we covered that or have we not? Hang on.
Yeah, we've done a few. If you give it another click or two, it should bring up. It should just give us like a refresher of some of them.
Yeah. And
we can just think of sort of like, can we think of any more sort of sports that or even specific athletes that requires any
an activity, maybe
any
like
specific
activity that you could think
of. An activity, yeah.
So
yeah.
Think of the sports you guys have watched, or you used to watch, or you can think of at the top of your head, and what they might need.
Yeah. You think like even not even necessarily a sport, but dancing.
Yeah.
If you watch something like Strictly or something like that, you'll see that there's a lot of graft goes into their training, a lot of repetition, a lot of coordination. And I don't think they realise how fit they have to be when they go on. I think that's a bit of a sharp learning curve for them when you realise how fitness does go into it.
Oh, mental. Again, there's just that flexibility, the agility, the coordination that you can't really just pick up. It's not just like instant. You can't just. Not everyone can just do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even there's like that in everyday tasks, I suppose. Like you were saying before, like you get out of the car and you throw your back out. Like I can't tell you how many times I've turned my head too quick, and like one of the muscles in my neck. Like, what was that? And it's like someone stabbed you with like a little pin. So just everyday tasks. You know, you've got muscles that probably haven't been used, or joints that have been overused, or whatever, and it just creeps up on you.
Well, yeah. I mean, you think even like bringing the shopping in from the car.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to need a little bit of CV fitness. You're going to need a little bit of endurance. I mean, I'll do it. I'll do the blokes thing where it's like everything in one
One
trip.
go,
Or not
always
at
one
all.
trip, always one trip. Always one trip.
One trip or not at
Like a
all.
bag in your mouth, and one's like wrapped around
Yeah,
your neck, and you're
yeah.
like, one trip, let's
Yeah,
go.
and that buggers you out. I mean, that's probably my fault for choosing to do it that way.
You've got to give it the grunt and that though. You can't just do it. You need
You
everyone
do,
to know
you
you're doing
do.
it as well. You're like,
All the neighbours have got to know, yeah.
You've got to show off. Otherwise, it's pointless bringing the shopping in, really.
Yeah. And my missus has got to know I'm carrying more.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is so heavy.
You
So
want
heavy
the
it
other
is.
credit for it if you're going to do it. You don't want to do it for note.
That's it.
So just catching up. Charlotte's just saying she's thinking about getting a standing desk to do more work on, and that would help with like the back and.
It's a good shout, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, to be
posture
honest,
as well.
I've worked with a few people in the gym over the years that have got like bad backs and joints and stuff like that who maybe it's not causing those problems, but they do spend a lot of time sat down at desks all day, you know, and you think you've got sort of like hunched shoulders, you're typing away, then you maybe jump in the car and drive for an hour, 45 minutes home, and you're in a similar sort of position. You get in, you sit on the couch, and your position hasn't changed that much.
Or it gets worse when you get home.
Or it gets worse, yeah, exactly, because it has that gentle build-on effect, and if you're not stretching off at the end of the day or on a morning to sort of even just try and reset that, you know, because to a certain degree, a little bit of activity, like I say, it's just undoing the negatives of the day or the day-to-day life.
Yeah, just a gentle nudge in the right direction.
Exactly, mate. Yeah.
Gary's saying as well, he's got a posture corrector for his back to try and help him with being sat down all day as well. So I think that must be like the little, you can get like a little insert that goes on your chair. We've got one at home actually. It's like a little insert that you can put on any chair, but it basically just makes sure there's a curve in your spine. You've got to sit back against it. Like that's a bit like lower back support.
Yeah. I've seen like some of the new high tech ones. They're like straps for a backpack,
right?
But they'll cross over on your back. Obviously, there's no backpack there.
Yeah.
But there's like a sensor.
Pulls you.
It tightens. Yeah, it tightens in areas that it needs to tighten and pulls you into the right shape.
Probably pretty good that. I imagine it's pretty uncomfortable at first though when you first.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, as soon as you find yourself being conscious about your posture and you try and hold yourself in a different way that your body's not used to.
Yeah.
5-10 minutes later, it aches.
Yeah.
It aches because your body's in a shape it's not used to being in.
100%. Gary is saying javelin, power, balance, power, strength, body composition, coordination, flexibility. Yeah. I'd agree.
Yeah. A lot of output.
K's talking about riding horses. Yeah, it's an activity that, I mean, it is a sport, to be fair, technically. There's a few different ones. Obviously there's like horse racing and then there's like equestrian and stuff like that.
But like and dressage and stuff like that.
Do people still play polo? I don't know if that's still a thing.
Probably.
It's a very like rich sport, that one. But yeah.
I'm gonna say nowhere around here is playing polo, mate. Nowhere near me.
In like Sunderland or South Shields or Newcastle, but horse riding, definitely you need a certain, I would say, level of or components of fitness. Definitely.
And in a similar sort of vein, F1 drivers.
Oh, definitely.
Formula 1 drivers.
Well,
again, you think to yourself, they're just riding something, like the same as horse riding. You don't realise how fit that they need to be until you see someone get off a horse or get out the F1 car and they're absolutely dripping.
Well, the thing with the F1 car is it's the resistance, because obviously you go that quick and the G-force. So if you're coming to a corner, you're trying to force that car that way, but it doesn't just, you can't just go like that. Like you have to move the wheels, which then the wheels are on the car, and that's generating all that friction and all that downforce and all that. I mean, you're talking like some of the corners they can go around at like 80, 90 miles an hour sometimes.
Like,
it's
crazy, isn't it?
On your body. Which is why they're all slim, because obviously you cannot be heavy either, so that you need to be very light, very lean.
Exactly, same again. Another one where body composition needs to sort of come into it. It's not going to make or break, and it might not be the difference between winning or losing, but you've got to get in the car. Yeah. You know?
Definitely pretty tight in there as well. Like.
These cars are done millions and millions of pounds to be as light as possible.
So I'm sure that's taking you coming in 10 kilos overweight and being slowing down every lap time.
Exactly. You turn up with a Big Mac when someone's engineered your car to be as light as possible. It's probably not going to go down so well.
So Gary's saying they get on average 2 to 5 Gs, which is a lot of force on your body as well. So even just to keep yourself upright, like even keeping your head upright at that kind of speed, like you're working all your muscles in your back and your neck.
It's tension in the muscles to not move.
Yeah.
A lot of people think of like muscle strength and stuff like that as moving and movement. But I mean, you've only got to do a plank to realize that sometimes not moving is harder than moving.
Yeah.
Depending
Or
what it is that you do. I
like
imagine.
a hold
Yeah.
where you hold your squat at the bottom, or holding a
Yeah.
lunge or
Yeah.
anything like that, where you'll sharp find out that your body's not used to doing that.
Yes. Yeah. It likes moving. It
Yeah,
likes moving a lot more than it likes holding
definitely.
a position or something. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so Sue's saying mental fitness as well. Yeah, I'd agree. Like
Yeah. You've got that definitely that mental conditioning
yeah,
and thinking about the less physical side of things. How important is reaction time for an F1 driver?
yeah, reaction time, coordination, both massively,
Yeah,
massively important.
like you say, you're coming into a corner and hitting it at 90 mile an hour.
Mm.
You need to be turning up there. You don't turn when you get to the corner. You've got to know when to actually react to that sort of obstacle and that barrier as well, haven't you?
And
You come around the corner and there's a
aye.
tire on the road.
On the telly as well, like it looks like because they do all the wide angle shots and the above shots, it looks like they've got loads of time. But if you see the camera angle from like
Yeah,
their like driver's seat, sometimes they'll come around a corner and there's like a bit of debris on the track. They've seen it and had to react like that, and sometimes they don't
yeah,
because they're just having that
yeah.
time, and the car will go spinning all over the place, and it's like. If you watched it on the wide angle, you'd think, "Well, how have they hit that?" But then you watch it on
How
the
did you
they've
just
literally
say that?
they've
Yeah,
seen like the tiny
yeah,
corner of someone's like rear wing, and they've just come around the
yeah.
corner and just it's gone. Like you lose yourself.
That's it. And
Um,
that's reaction time and
definitely.
reaction time in that sort of situation. It's not just winning and losing, is it? You know what I mean? Like it's
Life and death sometimes.
your health and your well-being.
Definitely, definitely. But
Definitely.
it's an interesting one. That it's a good point. Like I say, like these activities like horse riding and F1 driving, they're not particularly sport. Well, motorsport is a thing, but it's not what you would traditionally think of like an athlete or fitness. But
Yeah, when you say fitness or someone who's fit, Lewis Hamilton's not the first one who comes to your
no,
mind, is he?
definitely not.
You know, there'll be a lot of people that you think of beforehand.
Yeah,
But an F1 driver is fit in a ways where someone like Usain Bolt never would be.
yeah, and they're fit for purpose again. Like we keep saying, that
Exactly,
they're
yeah.
fit for their
Yeah.
activity, and that's what it's all
Yeah.
about, isn't it?
I guess one of the biggest takeaways for today is not just getting fit and trying to get fit for the sake of getting fit, because
Yeah, so
chances of you
that quote you
sustaining that
put
and
on there
keeping
as
it up.
well is pretty good. You know, the next slide after the one we've just been on, so after the can you think of any more specific examples? The next one's a really good slide that you've included there. So that's sort of what we've been talking about, isn't it? So,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
so all of these athletes have competed at the top of their sport and often won. Each of them are people would call fit. Yet we can see they are fit in different ways depending on their lifestyles, goals, and body types. That's exactly what we're sort of alluding to there, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, definitely. Same again, body composition's been different for all of them. You know, it's something that is important to them individually, but what one ideal body composition looks like for one person is different for somebody else. You know, like I say, we're all built differently anyway, and we've got our different body shapes. But yeah, our body composition and what your body composition should be or could be, it depends where you want to be. It depends what you want to be able to do, what you want to be good at. So for someone to say, "Oh, I want to get to 10% body fat and this, that, and the other," it's like why? Why? It just, as long as you're feeling better in yourself and you're going day to day, by all means have a goal. By all means have a goal and work towards it. And if you're working towards 10% body fat, then obviously try and have an idea why 10% and where you've pulled that from. But look at where you are now. Are you 25? Should you aim for 20 before you aim for 10? You might get down to 15 and you think, oh, that's as far as I'd like to go with that. And I've done it sustainable. I've done it healthy. Where do I go from here? I've got this under my belt now. What can I add to on top? Rather than putting all the focus on right now, I need to get to 10% body fat and crippling yourself and not enjoying the process, because that's half the battle as well.
So what would you recommend? Like obviously we know that there's loads of different types of fitness. If someone was just looking to lose like body from a body composition perspective, what would you recommend someone doing to find out what their ideal would be?
So for someone's ideal, I would again be looking at same again. Ask yourself, and like we're going to towards the end of this, what components of fitness are important to you, and what do you want to work at? Not just that, but I always say try and at least play to one of your strengths. So I'd say try and look at some of those components that you feel stand out and sort of serve you best.
Yeah.
You know, then you can start looking at sports and activities that might be more suitable to you. You're not limited to just those, but those might be ones that you're more sort of natural towards and you're going to be able to stick at. How far you want to go with that sport or hobby might give you an idea of what an ideal body composition would be. If not, that's just on the individual to decide. And I would say everybody's ideal body composition right now should just be better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or should be aiming to be better. You what, sorry?
Comfortable as well, so that you're comfortable with it. You're not like, you're not struggling to do day-to-day stuff as well.
Exactly, yeah. You've got to be able to function.
He's asking on that note as well. She's saying that we need a group visit to a racetrack for some research as well. But she's followed that up with, do you think BMI is important?
Okay then. So BMI is a little bit of a hit-y-miss one, to be honest. You'd find that certainly certain athletes, a lot of rugby players, a lot of bodybuilders, if they were to look at their BMI, they would be obese. They would be clinically obese. I remember a story in the papers not long ago, actually, that I think there was a female bodybuilder that was getting a physical and she'd been dubbed obese, and she was like, I think she was about 12% body fat, maybe something like that. And it's like your body composition and how much of it is sort of fat and how much is having a negative effect on you is important. And BMI can be a little bit of an indicator of where you're starting and where you are right now, but it's certainly not the be all and end all. I would say the most important thing is how you're feeling in yourself. I don't even recommend that people use scales all that often. Certainly clients that I've worked with in the gym, I'm just thinking about how do your clothes fit? Are they feeling a little bit slacker? Are you feeling better in yourself? Have you got a little bit more get up and go? Stuff like that. I would say your internal feeling in yourself is certainly a lot more important than any kind of ideal body composition. Certainly first and while you're figuring out what you want to do and where you want to go. And like I say, there's an idea of what's a healthy body composition and what would be an unhealthy composition. Same as there is a healthy BMI and unhealthy BMI, but it's just how much you want to stick with that and where you want to put yourself on that scale, I guess.
So maybe don't, like, you can look at it, but maybe not as like an obsessive way of looking at it. So
yes, yeah,
have
definitely.
it measured, but maybe don't focus on that. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, because it takes your height into effect quite a lot, and as someone with little legs like I've got, I'm like,
tell me about
mate,
it.
I think I'd only need to put on a stone to be overweight on the BMI.
At the moment, I am technically at my, but most of this year and towards the end of last year, I was technically overweight by like 5 or 6 kilos.
Yeah, and the problem,
whether it
and
was
there's
muscle or not, it didn't matter. It was just was how the scale works.
Exactly, yeah. If that 5 kilograms is muscle and lean muscle, and you're feeling good and moving well, then no problem being over your BMI.
Yeah.
If that's fat and you're not feeling so good and you're struggling sort of like with get up and go and you only want to eat crap food and you're feeling really down and stuff like that, then that's when you're thinking to yourself, well, that's when I need to work on that 5 kilograms. It depends what it is. It depends your percentage and your body composition, But remember, there's no ideal body composition. It just depends on who you are. And when you get a bit of an idea where you want to be, you can sort of change your goals going to that. I've started playing a lot of football, and I was like, right, I want to get to the point where I'm quite light. I can be fit. I can move around quite a lot. And then I started doing weights, and I was like, well, not only now do I not want to be doing the cardio to burn off the calories that I need to build.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm going to be doing certain things in the gym, my body composition needs to change again.
Yeah.
I want to put a little bit of muscle on. In order to do that, I need to gain a little bit of fat in the first place.
Yeah.
Your body composition and the state that your body's in is always going to be a sliding scale, and it's always going to be fluctuating. So trying to work towards ideal is it's something to work towards, but it can be more damaging. I try and work towards better rather than perfect.
Yeah. So just from like a health perspective, because I know there's certain machines and there's certain even ways of calculating. Is it good to look at it in tandem with like your body fat percentage? Do you think as well?
Yeah.
To like keep an eye on things like is it your visceral fat? Is it called? I can never remember.
Yeah. So
Is that the ones around
You've got you've got the fat that's going to show up on the surface.
Yeah.
And then you've got the fat that you're going to find sort of around your major organs and stuff like that, because it starts to build up on the inside. So you might find that someone's got like quite a lot of fat around some of their internal organs, but there's not a great deal of it showing on the surface.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. You know, I've seen some big guys who have got healthy hearts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, especially some of these power lifters and some of the strongmen and stuff like that. They might have more fat on the outside than your traditional athlete, but you might have someone who sits on the couch and gets a takeaway 4 nights a week, whose internal organs are in worse shape. You know,
surrounded by fatty tissue.
Yeah. So same again. Body composition is something that you can sort of keep an eye on and monitor to give you an idea what direction you're moving in with it. But I certainly wouldn't make it the be all and end all. I would make that, how are you feeling? How's your mood? How are you sleeping? Stuff like that, you know. How's your clothes fitting? And go from there. Are you going to bed starving? Are you going to bed feeling full? You know, are you getting your good foods in? That's where I would start, just that internal feeling. And I'm aware how difficult it can be to pick a direction to start moving in fitness-wise. And that's kind of where we're going to try and work towards by the time we get to the end of this.
So that's what we've got next, isn't it?
There we are. So yeah, we're going to start looking at different body types. Yeah.
Okay. So we've got the 3 there. The 3 are on screen now.
We've got the 3. So we've got our endomorph, a mesomorph, and an ectomorph. Now this picture's lying because it makes you think if you're an ectomorph, you're going to be taller.
Tall and skinny. That's like
not true. That's it, mate. Tall and skinny. No, you don't get the tall. It's not guaranteed. You just get to be an ectomorph.
Just the skinny. Sometimes.
Yeah. So a lot of people are going to fit closer towards one of these 3 body types, not necessarily fit bang on one. A lot of the time you're going to fall between at least 2. But just being able to identify sort of the traits of each one can help you look at where you are with that and break it down from there. So same again, we're just going to have a little quick through some of the different body types.
Next slide,
Then on to the next one, buddy,
Yeah, there you are. There he is. Big Thor.
Here we go.
Thor,
like, man, to think he's younger than me, like, crazy, mate. Yeah.
That's also it's the mountain from Game of Thrones. If anyone was in any doubt of who that is.
Yeah, who I think is doing a boxing fight with Eddie Hall.
With Eddie Hall, he's also the world record. He broke Eddie Hall's deadlift world record in March or April when I
think it was. Yeah. Well, break someone's world record and then like take them on in a boxing match. Yeah,
hopefully is what he's hoping for. I think.
I'm Team Thor. Like
he's a big lad.
We've got he is a big lad. And same again, we're looking at some of those shapes, and like I was just on about, you can see that to look at him, he's not naturally ripped like you would say with a like a bodybuilder. He's not an Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's not a Ronnie Coleman. Endomorphs and more often than not going to be what we call like a pear-shaped, or sort of like that's a sort of barrel shape. So where you've got a waist that's usually a little bit bigger than the chest. Same again, that's going to come down to diet and training that you're doing as well, but just sort of naturally they're going to have a little bit more around the waist, and that's going to be sort of like the thickest part of them. Looking at the limbs, they're usually quite short, with the upper half being a little bit longer. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can sort of see breaking down from that picture.
He's not short at all. He is
not short. He's absolutely massive. But in relationship to the bones in the bottom half of his leg, from the ankle to the knee,
got like a longer.
He's shorter than the knee up to where it would join the hip at the pelvis. Yeah, so that might lend him better towards certain exercises. From a leverage and from a physics point of view, and we don't need to worry about that too much. But someone with that sort of build and that sort of makeup might be better at, say, a back squat than a front squat.
Yeah,
you know, and even just those little differences. Him saying he might be better suited towards a deadlift than a squat itself. You know, same again. We don't need to stress about that too much, but it's just another way you can look at someone. If you can see, sort of like, okay, from the elbow down, that's quite short, and from the elbow up's a little bit longer. It's just another way of picking out, okay, there might be endomorph, I might be endomorph, I need to be training this way, I might be better at this. From a nutrition point of view and from a body composition point of view, they are going to gain fat more easily, and they're going to put on muscle mass quite easily as well. So you'll find that, yeah, a lot of them are going to be eating in a surplus and training to put size on, which contributes towards sort of their size, but the fact that they're going to have a higher percentage of body fat as well than sort of your traditional bodybuilder would. So yeah, looking at like, that's one body type, an endomorph. Can we think of any sort of sports or sort of any other athletes in particular that might sort of be well suited towards or that are an endomorph?
Well, you definitely mentioned another one who does the similar sort of thing that he's going to fight in. I believe it's December.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We've got Eddie Hall.
Yeah.
But can it, like Rob says, can anyone think of any other sports that would require you?
Any other activities? Yeah.
I can think of a few, but I'll not spoil it. I'll not spoil it for you yet.
You won the ball today, mine mate, and yeah.
Well, I remember we did this ages ago, and there's a video that I'm trying to find of it was at the Olympics. That's the only thing I'll say. But they put one person from one event in another because they didn't have anyone else to run it.
Oh, okay.
And it was a disaster. It was just a complete disaster. So I'm going to try and quickly find the video
when you
without playing.
Exit the airlock. Things.
I'm playing the audio from that like an idiot.
Mm.
You might have just heard the advert for Tenet there. You didn't mention it.
I didn't. I haven't even seen a trailer for that yet, actually.
Yeah, I found the video.
Yeah, you gotta.
Dear me, it's the poor guy, man. I feel a bit sorry for him. So Gary's saying AJ boxing.
Certainly some boxers.
Yeah. Charlotte.
My mind goes
Charlotte very
straight
good
away. Yeah, sumo wrestling. Sumo wrestling, actually, yeah. Boxing, you're looking more at a Tyson Fury sort of body shape. He's built very much like that.
Boxing's weird though, isn't it? Because I would say that if you looked at the likes of Tyson Fury, he's got that shape, but it's only the heavyweights that get away with that, obviously, because they've got a weight limit.
Yeah. Depending on what class you're fighting in and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so sumo wrestling's a really good one. Kay has said shot put, which is actually it's what this video is. Hang on. So I can't remember the exact story, but basically, I can't even remember what country he's from. I think he was a hammer thrower, and he was competing in the shot put as well, and they didn't have anyone to run the 100 meters. So they just like lumped this guy in.
Man!
Here he goes. Man. So like there they go. Off they go sprinting, and then this guy just trying to like trundle down the 100 meters. Like,
fair play to him! Like, fair play.
Never stood a chance. Like, I think what did he get? Like 15 seconds or something like that. Yeah, 15:66. Yeah. Which, to be honest, for a guy of his size, isn't that bad a time. You know.
Yeah.
For someone who quite clearly isn't a sprinter. That's not bad.
He hasn't trained for it, has he? No. Yeah, he hasn't trained for it.
Like 15:66, not bad. But yeah, there's an example of how your body type can dictate the sport you're in.
Yeah, definitely, and what you're good at. Yeah. And what you're good at, definitely. Now, by all means, I'm going to say this from the get-go. If you enjoy running and you're whatever body shape you want to be and you want to run, get out there and run.
Yeah.
Get out there and run, you do it. Your body type doesn't dictate what sport you can and can't do.
If you're going to do sprints as well,
be a little bit better at.
Please go easy because they're awful.
Oh, yeah. That's one of them that's over before you realise what you've done and you realise that you've gone too hard and now you don't feel very well all of a sudden.
If you're going to do any kind of sprint work or any kind of fast running, for the love of everything, just do some stretching before you do it, because take it from someone with possibly the tightest hamstrings in the world. The second you start, everything will just lock up and feel horrible. So careful.
Yeah. Even can you remember when Kieran Dyer used to play for Newcastle? He
every week,
used to run because of his hamstrings. He was always injured.
Yeah.
And that's a postural thing.
Yeah.
And I remember he had to get a coach in to actually retrain his body in the running movement and the pattern, so he wasn't going to get injured.
What's it called again? Like your It is your form,
Like
but
your
it's like your gait, yeah, like your cadence and your
Gait,
gait. It's
yeah.
like where your feet are and stuff when you're
Yeah.
running. It's a science, I suppose.
It really is. It really is. And like even when you go in these shops and they'll do like a scan of your foot so they can
Oh,
do your
yeah.
proper running shoe.
Yeah.
A lot of them will like analyze your gait so they can factor that into the shoe as well.
Like New Balance do it, don't they? They do give you like an
Yes, I
assessment
think
when
they
you
do.
go in the
Yeah,
shop and that. Yeah. No, it's definitely worth having a think
Definitely.
about if you are looking to go running. Charlotte said she thinks she'd probably collapse about quarter of the way through. To be honest, even right now, like I like to think I'm pretty quick, but I wouldn't be able to set a good 100-meter time, like because it's just
Oh no,
it's such
no,
a
no.
focused like sport. You're doing exercises that are specifically for right. I'm going to run really fast in a straight line and that's it.
Yeah, you think how many times effectively as well can you practice that a day
Not many, like
to
not
to,
without
to, to
hurting
work to
yourself.
the best? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're working at 100% output, aren't you? Yeah, it's like you do 2 or 3 of them, even with 10 minutes in between, you're going to be pretty spent.
Yeah. Yeah. Take it
Right,
easy.
guys, let's end them off.
Right, so we've got, there he is. He's been mentioned. He's had a mention so far.
Yeah,
There's
honourable
Mo Farah
mention.
there.
So there's our ectomorphs. Yeah, so someone considered naturally thin, genetically predisposed to have this body type, and often typically skinny their entire lives. Now, that's not to say that someone with this body type can't get to a certain age and your metabolism slows down, or if your nutrition's not particularly good, you can still get a buildup of fat. You can still gain fat, but you will always find that you've got or generally find that you've got your skinny limbs, and you're finding it hard to build any muscle mass. I can definitely attest to that one. Being an ectomorph, trying to put any muscle mass on can be tough. So yeah, we can see again, although he's running the same as Usain Bolt was and does, you can see that he's actually built differently. His composition's a lot different. He doesn't need the muscle in his upper body that Usain Bolt needed. He's carrying less weight because he's running for longer, and again, his body type sort of playing towards what he's trying to do. Same again. If he was Joe Public and he wanted to go out there and start sumo wrestling, no one should stop him. If he enjoys it, do what you enjoy. If you want to be good at something and be an athlete, it can help to play to your strengths.
Definitely.
Sue says 100 meters in 10 minutes rather than 10 seconds. Sounds more like it, yeah.
Just a nice brisk walk down the 100-meter track, you'd be all right.
Yeah. So, ectomorphs, can we think of any more either specific people or even sports or activities that you might be more suited towards if you were an ectomorph?
So obviously running being the primary one, like distance running.
I would say, yeah, the primary one you would say is probably some kind of endurance, be it even a triathlete.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going a lot of distance. Generally speaking, you want less of yourself to take over that distance, which is why if Mo Farah was rocking up to a 2,000 meters built like Usain Bolt, he's only going to get too far.
Have a bad day.
For as good as Usain Bolt is, and he would be winning the 2,000 meters for a time,
Yeah.
he'd be first, but he wouldn't still be at the front of the pack come the end of the race.
No.
Definitely not.
So you're saying jockeys?
Jockeys is a good shout, actually. Yeah, jockeys is a good shout. I mean, that's another one where your physical weight can actually be an advantage.
Yeah.
Less of it. Cross-country skiing, yeah.
Sure,
Gary says, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Same again. It's endurance.
Yeah.
A lot of it's endurance, stuff that you've got to do over an amount of time, or stuff where your weight's going to come into account. Being an ectomorph can often help out. Same again. You're not going to see many of them in Mr. Strongman.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of looking at say, okay, like this is my body type. Granted, I might be better at certain stuff than others. It's a case of playing to my strengths and finding what I enjoy as well. But it can give you a good idea what stuff you're not going to enjoy before you turn up and save you a lot of time.
Plus, you get your all-rounders as well, right? Where like you've got like obviously you mentioned triathletes, but then you've got like the heptathlon and the decathlon and stuff, where they sort of have to just be sort of in the middle of everything. Like they have to have power and speed and endurance, and it's like it's a bit rough, really, when you think about it, because you've got to be in the middle of everything, but not amazing at one thing.
Yeah, you might be thinking to yourself, right, well, I can afford to train in a way that's going to boost my speed a little bit more, and I
Yeah.
might get through this section a little bit faster. That's going to have a knock-on effect to maybe my endurance for this section.
Yeah.
And it's balance, and I don't envy whoever's job that is at all to try and find that balance at all. But that's why you're talking world-class personal trainers
Yeah,
and
definitely.
fitness coaches and stuff like that. The people who are doing the training and the race are designing the fitness plan.
No,
Definitely not. Definitely not.
it's tough. But yeah, that equally as well, like in your own training or just lifestyle, you can be in between as well, right? Like you can
100%,
fall
yeah.
in between these categories where, okay, yeah, I might have quite a fast metabolism or whatever, but I've deliberately put on a bit more muscle mass so that I can do this a little bit better.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah,
stuck
definitely.
basically, or you're in your body type. Like there will be certain things,
Exactly,
there'll
yeah.
be limitations, but you don't not like prohibited to do anything like you keep saying.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, and that's what we're saying. Like if I was I'd look out the place on a basketball court. Do you know what I mean?
Me too. Me
Five,
not.
five, and I'm about 2'2" short. Yeah. If you turn up and enjoy yourself, go for it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Are you going to be the best out there? No.
Yeah,
It's up to you
possibly
whether
not.
that's important to you. It's
Yeah.
up, yeah. You know what I mean? To some people, that can make a lot of difference. If they're turning up and feeling that they're not very good at something, it can deter you going for a couple of weeks in a row and really building that routine. And that's where we want to be, having an idea how to build a bit of routine and move forward with it. You know, none of us are going to come away from today thinking, right, I know how to train to be a world-class sprinter. You know what I mean? I mean, we might know how to train to do it. Whether you want to go and do it's up to you or not.
I'm sure
But
you'll find
yeah,
Usain Bolt's training plan online if you Google it.
yes.
It will
Oh,
be
it'll be
very
there
nice,
somewhere.
to be honest. It will be
It'll be there.
enjoyable.
Yeah. Do a couple of days and let us know how you get on. But I mean, I've even seen it's. I mean, even from the fitness side of things, you've seen people try and do Arnold Schwarzenegger's leg day.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, but that was when he was training for Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
Like,
And quite
you're
self-admittedly on steroids as well. Like,
well, yeah.
do you know what
yeah,
I mean? Like,
yeah.
not you can just go and just rock up to your local gym and just do it there on the day. Like,
Yeah.
years and years of training's gone into that routine.
Yeah.
And steroids.
A lot
as
of
well.
additional supplementation
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, definitely.
Extracurricular stuff going on there, I think.
Yeah. Right, finishing up Ectomorphs. What's Gary said there? Mr. Bean's an ecto. He
Bean,
definitely
nice.
is an ectomorph. Yeah. Flex Whaler is an ectomorph and when pro and building. Yeah, Gary, that's a good point. Yeah, you can excel within certain fields. If someone that was an ectomorph went into bodybuilding, they're not going to be in a category with the sort of people like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, they'll have there will be their own categories, and like you saying here, you can go and do it. It's going to take a little bit more work. Your body might work against you at times, but that's again how much you want to do it. You know, and it's finding that balance of how much you want to do something, and sort of how much you're enjoying it and how much you're not enjoying it. You know.
Yeah.
Like I say,
got to be enjoyable as well, right?
Yeah. Not even necessarily enjoyable, but you've got to feel like you're getting something from it.
Yeah.
And if
aye.
you haven't got to go along and like I've come out of sessions in the gym where I've hated every second of it.
Yeah.
But if you've got something out of it and you can feel the muscle work, and then that feels good and it's reinforcing, and you're likely to go back next time.
Definitely.
What you want to stay away from is going in too much, training too hard early doors, and hurting for a week to the point where you don't want to go back.
Yeah.
And you end up putting yourself off.
Aye, or hurting yourself to the point where
it's
not worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right, Ectomorphs, another one that stood out to me was a lot of martial artists actually fall into like an ectomorph sort of body type. You've got to look at sort of like even like a Bruce Lee body type. You'd say he's more muscular than Mo Farah. Of course, he's more muscular than Mo Farah because of what he does, but his natural body type is exactly the same. He's still not got as much muscle on him as Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
You know, he's still never going to have those broad shoulders, but he can be well defined and still build a little bit of muscle mass.
A lot of your UFC fighters in the lower weight categories as well.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
very similar. Like just the way they're built, they are obviously quite muscular, but it's not like high levels of mass. It's just toned, like really toned, really lean muscle.
Yeah. Someone like
Could be
Conor McGregor is,
yeah.
is probably somewhere ectomorph and then thinking going the other way. Sort of like, I think he's the sort of guy who probably, if he does come off his diet for a little bit, he does put a little bit of weight on, doesn't
He
he?
bulk up. Yeah, he
So
did for that fight. He
he
did that boxing fight with Floyd Mayweather, and he put a bit of weight on for that, like a
yeah,
bit of muscle
yeah,
mass. So
yeah. So he's not entirely ectomorph, you know, and there is this just sort of like, it is a bit of a sliding scale as well. Right, guys, I think that just leaves us one more to do.
yeah, and there he is.
I think we're
There's the
getting
man.
there, yeah.
There's the man himself, Big Arnie.
There he is. There he is. I mean, you type in mesomorph and you
Yeah.
get Arnold Schwarzenegger all day long. Definitely. So this is generally that sort of sickening body type. You know,
Yeah.
when someone will say, "Yeah, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna eat all this for tea. I'm gonna have this, that, and the other. I'm gonna sit and have a couple of cheesecakes afterward," and like it just doesn't show. It
No.
just doesn't show. Granted, it'll be factored into their nutrition, and these guys have only got to look at the weight to start building muscle mass. You know, they're an easy gainer, whereas an ectomorph's a hard gainer. So you've got someone who's sort of like average sort of build, but the muscle definition and strength of an athlete, or the ability to get there quite quick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Arnold Schwarzenegger wouldn't look. He wasn't born looking like that.
No.
And he, do you know what I mean? He's trained to look like that, but even his frame from a young age, you can look and see he's got broad shoulders. He's got naturally sort of mature muscle. And you can sort of you can see that in him from day one.
Annoyingly tall as well.
Yeah,
Like,
naturally
6
athletic.
foot plus, natural athleticism.
Oh yeah,
run all day.
Wide shoulders, narrow waist. Yeah, you got that V shape going on.
Yeah.
They're going to build muscle easily. Generally, the more muscular of the body types. And normally quite a fast metabolism that helps them lose and burn fat and maintain weight, providing that they're following a healthy diet and some exercise. Again, if Arnold Schwarzenegger stopped training and just started eating McDonald's all the time, he's not going to look like that for long, but he's always going to be naturally broad-shouldered. He's always going to sort of have a faster metabolism. And a lot of it is genetic. You know, a lot of it you're just born with what you're born with.
Yeah.
You got to roll with it. So
I think he's still
thinking about
Nick now, to be honest with you, I don't think
he
in
is.
bad shape now.
He really is. Yeah, because he maintains that muscle. He spent a lot of his adult life, well, even his junior life, building that muscle.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to build it now. He's just got to maintain it.
Definitely. I mean, he's nowhere near what he was, but I think for his age, he's still like in pretty good shape.
He is. Yeah, he's probably got to be nearly 70 now, isn't he? 60 somewhere.
He's born in 65, so that'll make I don't know, 60. Yeah, 65. Right? 40
He was born in 65.
Yeah.
No, my dad was 66 and he's 54.
Oh, hang on, no, he wasn't born. That's a lie.
55.
Hang on, Wikipedia's lied to me here. When were you born?
55.
Tell me when you were born. He's 73. He was born in 47.
47. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's 73.
He's in good,
he's looking in good shape, really. Like.
I was gonna say, my granddad's only got 5 years on him. God.
He's done well. But again, that's all perfect, like recovery and supplements and diet and
definitely.
It's all been on point for most of his life. So
definitely, yeah. To get to the position where he is, genetically from birth, he's had some help getting where he is. But yeah, a lot of it comes down to the work that he's done over the years. So again, thinking about this body type, can we think of sort of any people or any other sports or activities that might sort of be well suited towards that?
Yeah. Gary's mentioned Adama Traore, who is probably, well, because and it's interesting that he's mentioned him because he is saying that he says he never lifted weight but built like a brick house. So Adama Traore, for anyone who doesn't know who that is,
yeah,
I'll pull up a picture of Adama Traore, and he claims that he never trains his arms. So I want you to bear in mind that this man claims he's never done a bicep or tricep exercise in the gym, and then I'll find a picture of him and I'll show you what you think of his claim that he doesn't train his arms. just hang on a moment. There he is there, right? So this man doesn't do any work on his arms.
Let's have a look.
This guy here, never in his
life.
Okay. Yeah.
And he reckons He reckons he's never done.
So this man, he does his work because he's a footballer. He plays for Wolverhampton Wanderers. So he does his normal like legs and probably does some upper body stuff like pull ups, bench press, that sort of thing. But never does any bicep or tricep exercises. So he claims.
Okay then. So it is possible, given sort of genetic build and stuff like that. It is possible that doing the compound exercises that he's doing, is also working where they will also be working those secondary muscles. So a pull up, although it's going to use a lot of your lats, is at some point going to bring your biceps in as well. Now, I've trained with a lot of people in the gym who only do compound exercises, and that can be to build those secondary muscles. In what he's saying, it sounds like he's saying that he doesn't do any isolation exercises like bicep curls and stuff like that. If he's doing press-ups that are working on his chest and stuff like that as well, his triceps are still working.
Just because I found an article that says he doesn't lift weights at all, but I'm sure he must do something. He must do like his normal.
He's got to do something. He's overhead pressing his centre half, one of the two.
Yeah. So in reality, though, Traore has admitted a surprising fact: he does not lift weights. In fact, he has never lifted a weight in his life. That's what he's claiming anyway. He might not lift weights, but he does spend a lot of time in the gym, other activities such as doing band-resisted jumps, weighted knee raises. So I think he has a little video of him doing.
Oh, okay. So he's doing stuff in the gym then.
Yeah.
He's doing
band resistance. Yeah.
All looks very sort of sports.
Work, though, isn't it? It's,
Yeah.
Don't know. Then he might just be naturally a monster. That might be it.
Probably. I mean, depending on how old he is as well, to a degree.
Not very old. He's mid-20s.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, so he would be an example of one who's definitely one of those, like you were saying, the people who just find it just comes to them, like it just happens.
Yeah.
They don't really do anything, and they just look like that.
And you'll be like, I'll be in the gym five days a week tracking my calories, and it's like, get in, I'll put half a pound on this week.
Well, I know people who I've never done it because I've never been that obsessed to that level. I've been obsessed, but not at that level. But I know people who measure the biceps like every couple of weeks. They'll have a tape measure out and do like the thing on it. Like that's one step too far for me. Like I measure me weight. I used to measure that quite often, like once a week. But actually doing body measurements every single week or every 2 weeks, I was like, nah, I'm all right. Honestly, that's a bit far for me. Like
you'll find that body measurements, I find, are a lot more effective when you're looking at it from a weight loss point of view. Tracking around your waist, see if you've lost a centimetre or something like that. I mean, you should feel that in your clothes anyway. But generally, you'll find that that's certainly going to happen a little bit quicker than lean muscle gain.
Oh yeah.
You know, measure your biceps like once every couple of months or something and see where they're at. Doing them once a week, it's not like you're getting on the scales.
Yeah.
It's like if you're lucky, you're going to have a millimetre or two either side.
Hopefully, anyway. That's the hope, isn't it? I just clicked off the slide there, sorry. But yeah, Dan's on about the boxers again as well. So we were talking about someone mentioned Anthony Joshua before as well, didn't they? I think it was Gary. Gary must have mentioned
I think he would probably fall more on the mesomorph body type. Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth as well. Yeah, he's naturally and same again, trying to find someone that wasn't someone that you naturally think about as a bodybuilder
athlete, more of a
even like a strength performer and stuff like that. But you can just see from the way he's built. I mean, they're not always tall, but Chris Hemsworth's the tall guy. He's got broad shoulders.
You get a lot of rowers are like this as well, aren't they? Where they're really tall, very muscular, really broad shoulders.
A lot of upper body strength, big backs, or the ability to get a big back quite easily,
But I don't like Chris Hemsworth obviously plays Thor in all the movies. Don't they do like a mad when they are cast as a superhero? They do like the superhero workout, and it's like they just.
I think they do, yeah.
I'm sure you can find it online.
I think there's like a couple of trainers out there that are sort of tasked with training anybody who gets hired into a Marvel role. I think.
Yeah. But there's a few different ones. Obviously, I mean, it's got to be one of the best jobs in the world, really, because you get to meet all the celebrities.
Right.
But there's like different ones for different characters. I know, yeah. Like spotting Thor.
Yeah. Have you got it? Yeah, Rob's.
Yeah, sound. I've got it. That's like 150 kilos. Yes, whatever.
Easy.
But yeah, there's I
you'll
think there's
find
like
that.
tailored ones to the different characters as well. Like they've been published online, as far as I know. Like,
Oh, there will be. Yeah.
not that I would
Yeah,
recommend
definitely.
following them, because again, I think you'd need like a perfect diet and perfect rest, and everything. All the planets and stars would have to align for it to work, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and
That's like the level of detail that goes into that though is insane. Like they're thinking to themselves, we've got this shot halfway through the film
Yeah.
where we're going to see Captain America,
like
who's
pull a helicopter out of the sky or something.
exactly
stupid like
pulling
that.
the helicopter out of the sky. We need the bicep up. We need your delts firing. Like it's all manufactured, and it's not just a guy who's training and trying to get fit.
Of course not.
So don't let him convince you otherwise.
Definitely not. Don't fall for the tricks, not for Hollywood's tricks.
No, don't do it. Right, buddy. I think we're about there. So if we spin on to the next one.
So that's got the one with the bullet points on,
Yeah. So we can say that being fit means something different to absolutely everybody, and there's no necessarily right or wrong way to go about it. We can look and see how different components of fitness are important in many ways, depending on your goals and your lifestyle that you want. Same again, like I've said, many people don't fall into one specific body type and can be a mix. But being able to recognize your own body types, strengths, and weaknesses can help us decide what fitness means to us and which of these aspects we'd like to maintain and improve on going forward. Yeah. Nice one. padded suit from Marvel.
Back in the day, that was how they used to do it, isn't it? Like the Superman suit with the muscle insert. You can get it as like a Halloween costume now.
Yeah.
Like, your abs. So there was also one more on this as well, and this can also highlight with which physical activities we might be naturally suited to, helping us get more active. Yeah,
so like we're saying, sort of being able to take a step back and sort of analyze and look and think, right, this is more my sort of body type. These are the sort of sports that might be more, or the sort of activities that might be more sort of natural to me and my build. Then we can start pursuing those and seeing what might be for you, what's not.
So what would you recommend if someone's not sure? Like, say if someone doesn't know what their physical like strengths are in terms of the fitness elements, what would you recommend them do?
Okay, so if we actually roll on to the next slide, we're actually going to do a little bit of that.
Okay.
So if everybody's got I think it's the next slide.
Hang on, my thing's crashed, that's all. My slide selector has decided it's not working anymore. There we go.
Of course.
So we're up to what are the component, then we've got this bullet point list of what does fitness mean to you,
So what we're going to do, guys, we're actually going to build you up your own little profile here. So by all means, put something, stick it in the live chat if you want. If not, if you're not comfortable, if you just want to keep it for future reference, if you're watching this back later on, still grab a pen and a piece of paper and just start thinking about these questions and answering them from your own point of view. And by the end of it, we can have a little bit of a clearer idea, sort of which way to go forward. So first one of all, what components that we've spoke about, what components of fitness are important to you, or the type of fitness that you would like. Remember, that can just be a healthy heart rate, that can be being able to go up the stairs without being out of breath, that would come back to same again to heart rate and sort of physical exercise heart rate. You can say to yourself, right, I do want to be able to get out there and run a mile or two, and then you're looking at working on your endurance. Doesn't have to be speed. You can work on your endurance to get the distance done first and then worry about your speed. Same again, it's just when you think of fitness and the fitness that you'd like for yourself, just jot down a couple of those components that we looked at earlier on, and we've looked at a couple of times, and just sort of which of those are important to you and where you want to be. So Gary's saying walking. So you want a little bit of cardiovascular fitness. You're looking at just being aware of your body composition and working on that a little bit as well.
The weight loss as well, by the looks of it.
Well, yeah, coming into it from like a training and a nutrition point of view, as well. The weight loss, same again. It's just being aware of your body composition, try and bring that down a little bit, pursuing ways where you can work on that. We've actually got a drop-in course coming up on going to be a Monday morning called the Human MOT, where we'll actually be doing body composition checks where we can see your body fat percentage, where it's at, is it going up, is it going down, how much water are you holding on to, and just give you an idea of just sort of tracking that. You can even get scales now that you'll stand on sort of barefoot, and they're not the most accurate thing in the world. They're not going to be sort of like bang on the money, but they can give you an idea where they're at. And like any set of scales, if you know the measurement's the same every time and the calibration's the same every time, you've got a perspective of whether you've moved up or down. You know what I mean? It's like when they say like always get on the same set of scales.
Same tile. Always use the same bathroom tile.
Yeah. The weigh-in doesn't have to be right, but whether you've gained a pound or or lost a pound will be accurate. Yeah.
So you might say it's 78 normally, and then you've gone down to 77. That might not be your actual weight because it might be slightly off, but you've lost a kilo either side.
Yeah, you've lost one. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there are different ways to track it. Some of it comes down to the most basic things of thinking about what you're eating and educating yourself on the nutrition a little bit as well. All sort of stuff that we've got courses coming up to cover as well if people do want to find out a little bit more.
Sue was saying, I assume this is a thing she wants to improve on. So mobility and stamina. Can push myself and need to kick up the backside a lot as well and not sure. Oh, that's the answers to all the questions, right? I see. Yeah. So she's answered them in order.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So mobility and stamina are the ones that are important. Goals are what components of fitness are important?
A bit of endurance. So we want to work towards endurance. Yeah. So if we can look at once we've got our answers down, if we can look at what components of fitness are important to you and your goals and your lifestyle, and starting to match them up maybe with some of your strengths, we can think to ourselves, right, we might be able to find something we can move towards and a method of fitness that's going to work for me. So in terms of strengths, we're trying to think of those components again. Do you feel that you're flexible? Do you feel like you've got good coordination? Do you feel agile? Cardiovascular fitness? I mean, at the minute, a lot of people probably feel like they don't have that many strengths because we're all trying to get better. It's easier to see your weaknesses. Trying to identify a strength or two, it can be quite key in sort of finding something that you're going to be able to maintain.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
So yeah. So we can sort of once you've written those answers down for yourself, and I mean, if you're watching it back through, like by all means pause it, take a little bit of time to think about it. But if you can sort of answer a couple of those questions for yourself, you can sort of look at the information and you look at your answers, and we can start to, like I say, find maybe there's a direction that we can move in. So if we're actually going to do it on the next page, actually we'll do it as a final activity together.
Let's try and cycle through. It's done it again. So this is the Joanna one, yeah.
Yeah, this is the last one. So yeah, we're going to do this together. So sort of taking everything that we've done so far, everything that we've looked at today, we're going to look at. So assuming that Joanna's just jumped into the group chat now, yeah, we're just going to think she's just jumped in. She's saying, guys, use are the guys I've been told to come and ask about different types of fitness, different components and how to get fit. Where do I start? So this is what she's told us. Yeah, so she's got good coordination. She feels she's got poor flexibility, not very good mobility. She feels like she's not very strong. She feels quite agile. Yeah. Good cardiovascular fitness or above average. And she'd say that she's a mix between endomorph and mesomorph. Yeah. So I've put that on again there. Remember, our body types don't limit what we can and can't do. Yeah. They guide us towards what might come more naturally. So that's not a case of if she's saying all of these things fit that she'd be a really good sprinter, but her body type says that she shouldn't be a sprinter. That doesn't necessarily mean that she can't take up running, So yeah, if we just take those things on board, what activities or what ways of getting fit or a little bit more active could we suggest to Jo if she was to come to us and ask for help? Yeah, so you say she's got poor flexibility. So I'd say gymnastics is off the cards. Yeah. So I mean, you can even sort of work backwards. Again, it's always handy to work on weaknesses as well as strengths. Just because she isn't very strong doesn't mean I wouldn't say, right, never go to the gym. That means it could be a good chance to work on that. Is that something that's going to come natural to her though, and she's going to excel in? Probably not. And that's what we're trying to find, something that we can go away and do, or help other people go away and do, that sort of fits them, their goals, and what might come more natural to them, if for no other reason than just a little bit of reinforcement and being able to go and feel like you're doing well at something and getting something out of it. Yeah. So yeah, Gary, that's an amazing point. Yeah. We've got to look at what you're not so good at and work on that as well. It's always important to be looking at your weaknesses, but in terms of finding something to get you started, I would try and point someone towards something that obviously it's important to you and it's got goals that are important to you and it's going to help that, and also ones that maybe plays to your strengths a little bit, be that physically in your build, or be that can even be mental, like Sue's saying, your ability to push yourself a little bit.
Swimming's a good one as well, in terms of like
swimming is a good one. Yeah. Swimming would be one that we could recommend for Joanna, to be honest. She could swim.
The other thing as well, like if you were trying to do strength, you might not get them in and doing like the advanced moves straight away. If you're not very strong, you don't want to be coming in and doing like a back squat like straight away. Because you might crumble underneath the bar, and that might be it.
Yeah,
might be the last time you come to a gym.
Exactly, and that's what we're trying to stay away from. Like, the amount of people that I've seen where they're like, "Oh, I've tried that and it's not for me." So I'm like, "Well, you're gonna try something wrong."
That's why, mate.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah.
It's easy though. It's easy to put yourself off doing something.
It really is. It really is to sort of go hell for leather straight away and really burn yourself out and sicken
running's
yourself
got to
off.
be the one that's done it for me, because I remember like we did in school, they made us do the cross country, but they were just no training, like not even a warm up, and like they were like, "Oh, well, you play football, so you can do this." And it was just like I go and do this cross country run, and like about half of it, I was like, "When's this gonna end?" And like you get to the end, and your chest, you can taste blood in your mouth, and your chest burns. And you're like, "Why have you done this? Like what?" I don't even know if they get away with it. I don't even know if they get away with it nowadays. But like I was
gonna say,
get sent to like you compete against people from other schools, but people would travel in from like all over the region who are like part of running clubs and that, and you're against them and you're looking at them and they're just flying away and you're like, hang on a minute, like what?
Like I'm a midfielder. I've got decent cardio.
What?
Yeah. It's like when at school, man, you used to have your dinner. You'd go back full of lunch. First one be PE. 1,500 meters, off you go.
Like I would do.
Did we warm up or anything first? Like, or would we just set ourselves running around the field? Just run around this field 4 times. Yeah, all right.
Get on. We'll time you. All right, sound.
Do you enjoy that? No, not really.
No. Same again next week. All right, class.
Right, guys. What else are we thinking for Joanna? Then we said she could swim.
Something else. What else can she do?
I mean, another basic one that you can suggest to anybody who's saying, "I'm struggling to get moving. I want to be doing a little bit more." Walking. There's nothing on that list that says that she can't get out walking.
Yeah, walking's a really good one because it's all the muscles that like.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I struggle with quite often, like I said, is recovery. But so if you go and smash like leg day at the gym or whatever, and you've done like whatever heavy squat, or you've done like loads of body weight ones, the day after, I've found it quite good if you just gently walk it off.
Yeah. Stretch it off.
Gets everything moving. Yeah. But not in a way that anything will like you're not forcing your joints into loads of repetitive like horrible motion where it's like hitting the pavement from running, or it's just really nice and easy in it.
Yeah. Now, of course, like there's always more factors to take into account than what we've got. Even if she was to say to me, "I've got bad knees, I've got arthritis, so I've got a little bit of this to work with," you'd probably say stay away from the running. But based on that information, which is what we're trying to do, get yourself out there for a run. Yeah, like
what Gary's saying, so she would be good at long distance running.
Yeah, she would be. She would be quite, in terms of the traits that she's got and the components that she feels that she's better at, she probably could get herself out for a run, feel that she's getting a lot out of it, feel that she's pushing herself and excelling it and not really hating it.
Yeah.
And that might be a way to keep her moving in a sustainable way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Rather than like I say, she's got poor flexibility. We say to her, get yourself out there and try a gymnastics class. She might go once, feel so out of place that she never goes back again.
Yeah. and no, like, not very strong, not great flexibility, tell her to just pick the bar up and do a bunch of squats and deadlifts and that, probably not going to have a fun time.
Exactly, yeah. Movement and range of motion and stuff like that, yeah.
Good coordination, pretty good agility wise. Could probably do football.
Yeah. I was looking down even the tennis.
Yeah,
squash, badminton, racket sports.
Any of like basketball, netball.
Yeah.
Anything like that, really.
Yeah. There's a lot of
your classic sport.
There's a lot of sort of sports and activities out there, and a lot of them are accessible as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all well and good sitting here and saying, yeah, she'd be really good at water polo.
Yeah.
Like you say, she's not going to go and join a water polo league at the weekend.
Probably not.
I dread to think how much a polo membership costs, actually, mate. Now
I think you have to join like the country club and that, don't you? And like you have to pay
I'm sure, yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Although, actually, having said that, I know golf used to be like a bit of a rich person's game, but I think that's come down in price now. I think you can go and play around the golf for quite cheap. Your clubs are still expensive, I think. I'm not into golf, but I know a few people who are. But I think you spend a lot of money on your clubs, but I think actually playing isn't that expensive anymore.
Yeah.
And that takes all kinds of fitness as well.
Well, it really does.
You want to be good anyway.
Yeah, that's it. Depends how many beers you're doing while you're going around the 18 holes, like. But yeah, it's even that's movement. It's walking. You know, it's getting out and about. You think 18 holes? How long are you going to be out? You're going to be a few hours walking around. You might go out and play golf and move more in a day to day than a mum who does 9 hours in the office and come home and cooks tea and sits on the couch.
Of course.
You're going to go and get more movement out of that, and you don't have to break a sweat.
You are generating power as well. You know, you've got to have strong muscles and good posture, and it's all technique and power.
Strength, coordination, yeah, definitely.
All sorts of aspects in there. Swimming pool's already open, apparently. Yeah, I think some of them probably are, but I think there's also equally ones that aren't. It'll just depend on the local centre and whether they've had all the risk assessments done and they've got all the COVID stuff in place. Because I know a few probably haven't, because they're either understaffed or haven't got the right precautions to put in.
Yeah, can't get the precautions in.
Because it's a big deal. I know there's one in Shields that's like council owned, but you can't get changed there, so you've just got to sort of come with a robe on. Or like you can leave your bag like near the pool, so you can get changed poolside, but you have to come with your whatever you're wearing to swim in underneath, and then get that. So there's no change rooms or showers, anything like that.
No, you just turn up in a dressing gown with your trunks underneath.
I think that's what people have been doing, like coming in like a robe, like a bathrobe, and just some flip flops, and just like kicking it off and going for a swim.
Yeah. I've seen people in Asda in their dressing gowns. At the swimming bath wouldn't be such a surprise.
No, I die. You definitely see some sights in Asda, like. Not just Asda either. A lot of them.
Oh yeah.
All the supermarkets get them. Don't worry about that.
Karen Davison said she had to get out wet with her clothes on.
Yeah, I think that's the crack at the minute. So I'll probably hold off until there's some change in facilities, just for ease, to be honest. Because it's like, if you're going from work or whatever, or you've been out, it just makes it a little bit less convenient. Yeah. Unless you just want to wear your costume all over the shop.
But yeah, I think that'll about do us then. If we say resistance training, she could start with and build herself up. It's just obviously being aware of starting at a beginner's level and not jumping straight into a bloody celebrity's workout plan that you found online.
Yeah.
Or jumping straight in, even with some personal trainers out there. Their one mission is to beast you and make you hurt rather than break things down and build up from your point of view. So you've got to be sort of aware of that as well. Jo could walk, she could run. We're looking at racket sports, badminton, squash, tennis. There's a lot that she could get out there and do. And from where I'm at and from my experiences, it's important picking something that she can go and, like I say, excel out and feel good at. In terms of building that sustainability and building up, and hopefully after today we can all sort of take a look at our own profile and think, right, that's important, that's what I'm good at, that's what I might not be so good at, and try and build forward there and find something in the area. Now, one of the upcoming courses that we've got coming up as well, my fitness journey, it's going to be about doing a similar sort of thing and finding in the local area, sort of local to Sunderland and stuff like that, what there is available. and sort of what price is, what cost of membership's going to be, so we can sort of work as a team and point you in a direction of, okay, so this might not be feasible for you right now, but you want to be active, you might be able to go and try this. This is local in the area. Even just doing a little bit of Googling around the area, you're finding activity groups and stuff like that you wouldn't even think to search in the first place.
Yeah.
Even just sort of walking groups down on the beach. They might say, well, we're going to meet up every Thursday for a walk. I know we've done and do stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
But there's all sorts out there. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't all have to cost. It's just looking at what's stopping you getting fit and what's the barriers in the way of you getting more exercise, and how do we work around them. And we'll be going into that a little bit more depth at the time. But this is just sort of like a starting point, sort of looking at, like I say, where you might be able to go away and really throw yourself at something and make it sustainable. And analysing why as well. Do you know what I mean? If you've ever tried a sport or an activity and you've not been very good at it, or felt you've not been very good at it, maybe now that makes a little bit more sense. Do you know what I mean? If you've tried something that you're not genetically predisposed to be good at, it's going to take a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah. Or, you possibly, if it's something like football, like, you've got people who've been playing it for years and years and years and years and years. So
yeah,
if it's the first time you're trying it, you're probably not going to be up to that level yet.
Yeah. Yes, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Now you can go and you can be not the best, like we're saying, you can go and be not very good at the thing itself, but you kind of want to feel that there's something about you that lends yourself to it.
But I always find that with like people say about like martial arts as well, it's quite humbling. To go in and get knocked on your backside, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You might be as fit as you possibly could for that activity. You might have the right body composition. You might have good agility, good coordination. But if you don't know the technique, it means nothing, because someone who's been doing it for 15 years, you're going to try and like, say it's judo or jiu-jitsu, you're going to try and get them in a hold, and they're just going to be like, well, no, absolutely not, and just sort of like push you out of the way. Do you know what I mean? Push you aside.
Yeah.
So it can be something like that, like a martial art or a sport. It could be a traditional sport.
That's the thing. There's a lot of stuff out there, and there's a lot of ways to be active. There really are. It's just a case of, and that's, I guess, where this came from. It's such a big field, and trying to sift through what's for you and what's not, when you've got so and so saying, I'm doing this and I'm trying this and I'm trying that, trying to figure out what's going to work for you.
Do you know what I mean? Like, don't let it put you off because you don't think you're built for something. Have a go, see if you like it. You'd be surprised, I'd imagine, with certain things.
Yeah. If you can, like I say, if you can say to yourself, I'm an endomorph, I'm not naturally built for certain things, I'm never going to be the strongest guy in the gym, because that's probably going to be a mesomorph. I'm not going to be the most shredded guy in the gym. But if you're turning up and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'm getting stronger and I'm enjoying that, and my flexibility is getting better because I'm doing some stretches before and afterwards and stuff like that. Like I say, you don't have to be the best. You don't have to turn up and even be particularly good at it. I think you just sometimes turn up for something and you know it's not for you straight away, and you don't always understand why. Yeah. I've been there myself with certain things. You try stuff. Mate, rugby, I absolutely hated rugby. Part of me, I'm half built for rugby in that I'm quite small and I'm quite quick and I'm quite hard to get hold of.
Yeah.
But when they did get hold of us, it hurt.
It's game over.
And you realise, and you look at the sort of the body types that are around you as well, and you say, right, they're sort of more inclined to this than I am. It's sort of like, how much am I going to get from turning up for this week on week on week? Now I'd have got better at other things, and you can train ways, and I guess some of it depends where your passion is as well, and what interests you. Because if you can find something that actually like interests you and draws you in, that being good and getting the reinforcement for it's not quite as important.
Yeah.
Like I say, if it's something that you're bad at, I mean, everybody's bad at playing an instrument the first time they pick it up. But if you really want to be good at it, you keep playing it till you get better. Like I say, it's not a case of finding something that you're a natural at straight away. It's just a case of trying to find something that's not going to put you off from day one, or sort of soil the experience of getting yourself out there and trying something, because it can be quite daunting. I remember me and Charlotte sat for a good couple of weeks batting ideas about and thinking between ourselves, and then we were like, well, why don't we try swimming? Why not swimming?
Yeah.
And from there, you build towards that, and you start swimming once a week or whatever, and like I say, you can get an idea whether it's for you or not, and you can. There's nothing wrong in saying on paper I'm built for this, but I don't like it. There's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with that either.
I think
Do you know what I mean?
the other thing is you can look at the social aspect of it. So, are you doing it for social reasons and being active, i.e., like
Yeah,
your team
yeah,
sport, or
yeah,
do you want the opposite of that? Where actually, you know, what, I want an hour's break where I can stick my headphones in and I can go for a run. Not that I would recommend running for an hour to start with, like, but the gym, you
yeah,
know what I mean? You can go to the
yeah,
gym for 40 minutes, you stick your headphones in, you get your routine, you work out, okay, you speak to, like, you know, Rob, and he gives you a little workout routine to try, and you put your headphones in, you put your music on, you tick off your list what you've got to do, and for that 40 minutes, an hour, you're not talking to anyone, you don't have to, like,
yes,
think of anything,
yeah,
you
of
just,
course,
your mind's switched off, but you just,
yeah,
and you that's it gives you a bit of peace sometimes. I find
yeah. I mean,
being in the gym
it,
sometimes it's just a bit
it,
peaceful.
it, it
Like
depends on the person. Yeah, definitely depending on what your day to day looks like.
yeah,
Like I'm in the gym, I'm talking to people all day long.
yeah,
When I'm training, I prefer my headphones in and like a
yeah.
little bit of
Oh, I'm ignorant as
monitoring.
out me in the gym. Like I don't.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But then you get other people who probably don't see very many people all day. Maybe
Yeah,
work not by themselves or a little cubicle. They get to the gym and it's the social side that's got them there more than
yeah,
anything.
absolutely. And it's different every
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
Like some
yeah.
days I'll stop and have a chat, and then other days I'll be like, ah, mate, I'm gonna crack on. Like I just want to get in and out and be done. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely, definitely at the minute, yeah.
But I
Just getting in and get out.
but like to the point where I'm not focused sometimes, or like not focused, but I'm not in like in depth with me workout, I'm not even paying attention. And people will be like looking at us and
Yes.
be like,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
like they're not even
I just in the
there.
zone, man. Don't
Yeah,
mess.
like,
Don't mess with Ethan when he's in the
and then
zone.
your headphones come out and you're like, oh yeah, you're right, man. Like 20
Oh
minutes
yeah.
later,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so just think about what you want to get from it as well. Is it a social thing or is it like an not escape, but like is it something to give you a bit peace and
Exactly,
help you
yeah.
mentally
Yeah.
as well? Because I think
You've
that's
got to be getting something from it. I
yeah,
think I think you've got to be getting something from it, be it the social side of things, or because certainly at first, I mean, you go to the gym and the first couple of weeks you really hurt and you don't see a great deal of change, and you just come to associate the gym
and you're
with
tired
that pain.
and you're really
Yeah,
tired.
yeah, yeah. Over time,
Yeah,
you see the changes, and you start to associate that pain with the changes
yeah,
as well, or instead, and that makes it a little bit easier. So I guess it's finding something to keep you going while you're trying to find something that you can really sink your teeth into.
yeah.
And
And
for
if
some
you've
people, it is the social side.
100%. If you've got
Yeah,
an
you know,
addictive
be it a team
personality as
sport.
well, like I have, you'll find whatever when you find something you like, you'll not be able to stop doing it.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you'll find your thing and you'll be in that box forever, and you'll be like, when's the next time I can play football? When's the next time I can go for a swim? Or and you really will. You'll love it.
Yeah,
Just got to find
yeah.
that thing.
That's it. Just something that draws you in. You're not going to find it necessarily first go. Like I say, you just gotta keep plugging away at it and finding something, and hopefully some of what we've looked at today can help you at least sort of extract what direction you might want to move in, or sort of push you on getting into some of the other courses that we're going to look at, and we can work as a team and figure out where you're going to go from here.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm just
Definitely.
going to get the survey for the guys. If you just want to do a quick little wrap up, I'm just going to grab the survey. So
Yeah. No worries. Well, I've just seen there's a couple of messages in the chat.
Give me a sec.
Sue's wanted to check what courses she's on. Bear with us 2 seconds. So,
Because you've got is this for the drop-ins and stuff that we've got
yes, yeah.
very shortly.
So the drop-ins, I think, start 2 weeks yesterday on the 7th of September.
7th of September, that sounds right. That's a Monday, isn't it? The 7th.
Yeah, that's the 7th. Yeah. Let's have a look.
What's the title of this course again?
Understanding my fitness.
That's it. That's the one. I had My Fitness, but it's Understanding My Fitness. And the date is the 25th. 25th of the 8th. Oh,
Yeah,
on,
so that's
you and me.
yeah, that's oh I know. September soon.
Scary. So the 7th's that Monday, isn't it? And that what's the Monday morning one, the drop in?
The Monday morning one starting the 7th.
Yeah.
So we've got 9:30 till 10 is going to be human MOT.
Yeah.
Where we are, I've got them all here.
So So there's the survey in there, guys, as well. If you can fill that in, please, that would be great.
There we go. So session 2, 10:15 till 12:15, is going to be self-care after lockdown, and that's going to be looking at routines, hygiene, stuff like that, getting into habits, mindfulness, all that sort of thing, because lockdown affected all of us differently, you know, and we've all been on a different page with stuff. I've not spoken to two people whose circumstances have been exactly the same. You know, we've all overcome different things and faced different things. So sort of coming together, getting our heads together, seeing what we're still struggling with now and sort of how we can build on that going forward.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Session 3 is going to be 1 till 3, and that's going to be my personal fitness journey. That's the one that I'm on about, sort of not only looking at more into body types and different nutrition and different types of fitness and stuff like that, but looking at our learners as an individual and building up a bit of a profile and thinking, right, we've got these strengths, we've got these weaknesses, we've got this available in the area, let's go and try this, you know, sort of help people get a little bit more active and get out there, you know. And then session 4 is the beach walk and talk. And that's going to be 3:30 till 4:30.
Nice. Nice afternoon.
So, nice little afternoon walk, yeah. Once I've battered everybody's head with nutrition and macronutrients and that all afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the barrel of laughs that is. It's good though. It's good to know. It's
yeah.
helpful.
Yeah. So Sue, you're booked on obviously today's let's have a look.
Because we just you're having a look at that, mate. Just to let everyone know as well that we're limiting the numbers on the drop-ins as well, because obviously the whole
we've had to
obviously with the old pandemic that's still having a bit of a rage around. We've just had to keep the numbers quite low. I think is it 4 per course?
Yeah.
So
apart from the beach walk and talk, which can be 6.
Yeah, because obviously we're in a bigger area and it's outdoors. So we will try and get everyone included who wants to be included, but you might have to wait a little while before we can sort of start relaxing things. So I think we've done it on a
of course.
Yeah.
Well, we're actually building up like reserve lists and stuff like that in case we do want to be on, in case anybody drops out last minute, you know. Moving forward, right, so Sue's on sessions 3 and 4, so my personal fitness journey and the beach walk and talk.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, cool.
And you've got everyone's contact information just to give them like a reminder and stuff, yeah, Rob?
I do, yeah, mate, yeah. Aye.
Cool. But yeah, thanks for
cool.
by, guys.
It's all been good crack, enjoyed it.
Enjoyed that,
thanks for calling in, guys, yeah.
A survey's done, Sue's saying, but if anyone hasn't done the survey, if you can just fill it in. Survey done, can you put up a list of the drop-in sessions? Do we have a list on Facebook, do you know, Rob? Did it go?
I know.
Let me just have
I think the flyers are there. I'm sure the flyers are up.
Yeah, I will, because I don't know if we've got like one list. Let me just double check while we're on. On the old Facebook page. Because that's the digital skills ones we've got. Live streams. I will, or Rob, maybe you can email them to Karen.
Yeah, can do actually.
Mel's. Yeah, if you can email Karen with the drop-ins, just so she. I think are they all full at the moment?
I think the first lot is. I think the first.
Like the first run of them is. Yeah.
I know Mel's been on the ball.
Yeah, Mel's
with
been
all
doing
of that
recruitment and stuff. Mel is just putting in like a quite important message in there as well. So for the drop-in sessions, numbers are strictly limited. So people not turning up, don't just turn up on the day. Please get in touch and check the availability. If you need, like, we can email out the schedule, like Rob's going to do it today. But if you ask any of the staff or message the Facebook page, we can get that information and all. Mel saying we are running these in blocks of 6 weeks. So obviously the first block is pretty chock-a-block at the moment. But we will look to get everyone involved who wants to be involved as well. Sue's asking if you can email her as well with the
I will do, yeah. I'll Sue, what I'll do, I'll email you over the sessions that you're on and the times that they're going to be on, And what I can do actually, just in case anyone else is interested, everyone who's been on today, I can blast out just the flyers so you can have a look. I'll just send the flyers out to the group, yeah. So everybody can get a look, and even if you can't get on, the upcoming one, if it's something that you want to do, you can get your name down for one in the future. Yeah.
All of you guys who've been here today, who've been in the chat, we will make sure to get something to you then. Or Rob will be in touch.
Yeah, definitely.
Class.
No worries, guys.
Right, we'll leave it there then. I think I've just
Thanks for tuning in, yeah.
3 different programs on my computer, so it's probably going to crash, so it's good timing. Yeah, you can see After Effects is just opened there. Right, okay, so yeah, I'll drop the stream out now, but we are available via email and on Facebook as well, so if you just give us a shout.
Yeah, nice
cheers,
one.
guys.
Cool.
Right, catch you later.
Awesome work. Cheers for your help, buddy.
No bother. Right, I'll end that.
See you later on, man. Take it easy.
2 seconds.
Bye, guys.
Hang on.